Loud going all the way through. They've dropped 2 matches, I think 1 to Havan, and they lost 1 to MIBR. So even like teams that we know as well.
Names,
so
yeah.
the fact they've only lost 2 maps fills me with confidence. The fact that Liquid have picked Icebox doesn't.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the things coming into this that we've got to look at, right? The fact that Liquid are coming in on this map, I don't really know what to expect from them, but maybe that gives them a bit of an upper hand up against Loud. How do you prep for that, I suppose?
Well, they've played it. They're just 0-4.
They're not very
it.
good at it. This is where I'm coming from, though. I'm expecting Team Liquid are not coming in playing it the same way they've lost it 4 times before. This has got to be a completely different face from them in one sense. But we'll see as time goes on. 1 minute and 10 on the clock, and you can see Loud on the attacker taking this extremely slowly. They're ready for aggression out of Liquid. They already caught some down middle, but we haven't seen that engagement really amount to anything. This is just map control denial, and eventually Loud are going to have to make a move. And Tom, I mean, we're going back to our roots, I suppose. It's a beat take coming through.
Yeah, they're going to try and make that little bit of extra space. Sadak, it's back on a Sentinel. Almost annoyed me because I wanted to talk about his new like initiator play, but he's not picked an initiator at this map at least. So yeah, it's just going to be trying to find those longer range duels, the same as Scream, just spamming back through, trying their best to deny, but actually planting a little bit deeper, so not going to find anything off the back of the Nano Swarm, and whoa, 5v5 retake. Yeah, walls in the pistol round, man. It's so hard to break through them. Team Liquid are going to have to fight back in towards this site. They've got no flank underway as well. I mean, this is just going to be all-out aggression on the way back through. You can see right away, Sadek's trying to get some duels with the Headhunter. The shot's not landing just yet. The Sheriff in the back yellow forced out. Team Liquid already pushing Loud back to the choke point. That's where they're going to look to a secondary plan. Sadek having TP'd is coming around on a very early flank. All things considered, but he's going to have to go huge. Navarro's already got 4, but as they get on the defuse, in comes Sadek. The shot's not landing though. Scream buys just enough time for Link to get that defuse through, and Liquid, they've picked up the pistol. Yeah, one of the things I almost wanted to say going into this one is that, like, Navira individually, he's been quiet for Navira. They're not really mattered so much because you've seen pop-offs from the likes of Scream at times. Yumpy's been incredible so far this event. Maybe even the best player so far this event. I think he's in contention for sure, especially like with the different roles that he's been playing along the way. But yeah, Navira's been a little bit quiet. Kicking things off with a 4K and a pistol round is definitely not a bad way to go. Obviously, getting orbs towards his lockdown as well. 4th kill was his last bullet out of the Classic as well. He ran dry at that point. We've seen that a few times. So I'm getting Sugar Zero flashback. Listen, let's not talk about the A-side ropes just yet. I can't relive that, Tom. 1-0 for Team Liquid means Louder coming in with very little to work with. Just a couple of pistols. That can be dangerous. Yuppie's not afraid, though. This guy's already running through with his Spectre, taking a quick double and putting a huge wrench in Loud's plans of making that mid-split work. They've got 1 kill at least, and if Sassy can manage to even just find 1 more, it would be great, but they move together and ensure that that cannot happen. 4 kills for Navera, 4 kills for Yumpy. I mean, Liquid are off to a pretty good start. Yeah, I don't mind the idea from Loud. I think mid's always one of those positions that you kind of give up. Like, you can, don't worry, guys. I've got an alarm bot in the kitchen. And then you just kind of avoid the rest. The fact that Yumpy's almost just gone directly pushing in and managed to find a multi-frag. Again, they're powering up some ultimates, which are going to be hugely valuable in the coming few rounds. The only issue is for this one, not really anything online, because they're the more expensive ones. So we're almost just going to see them play this one with the weaponry that they've got, maybe try and get up in the faces of their opponents once again. And this is where we expect to see a little bit more from Loud. Well, Louder taking it slow yet again, looking for that mid-aggression out of Team Liquid, seeing if they're going to get up in their faces. And it's not a bad round for it. Not only because Liquid have already pushed mid twice, but also when you look at the fact that they have these weak weapons, they're going to want to take some sort of an advantage. But that doesn't always mean pushing forward. Sometimes it does just mean sitting back, holding the close range angles. And most people are doing that. Scream, though, has a Marshal in hand. He's playing around yellow, and he's just about to get some contact. No, he's running away. He's giving it up at just the wrong moment. He's not. I guess maybe expecting it to be more of an A play. He's already gone rotating around. Now, the turret's still going to be the first point of contact, so realistically, now that the drone's gone over the top, they're going to have a decent idea. And you can see instantly, the rotation starts to come through from Liquid. The question will be, is it too late? Well, they heard that drone, right? So that's why you still have Scream around here, a 3rd player here. I mean, it might have been too late if Loud had it went quickly, but they're so cautious not knowing what they're up against exactly that they wait a little bit longer. Luckily, still having the wall to put down, and no one's able to destroy it in time. So just like the pistol, we end up in a 5v5 retake. This time, though, Liquid have a huge
huge disadvantage when it comes to weaponry.
Yeah, it's going to be incredibly difficult for them to try and push that a little bit further forward, especially not even having their retake wall available. It's currently over on A, so they basically just have to try and start forcing people out with utility, maybe get a little bit lucky in a fight, but thus far there hasn't been anything. In fact, there's a swing now from Sassy! Damn, that's a way to kick off a round of Prime Gaming flawless and a quad kill for him.
Well, we talked about Team Liquid building up a little bit of momentum with those multi-frags, but that's certainly one way to one-up them.
He is the bald, you know? He is the bald.
He is the bald. Praise the bald. 20... I mean, look, you look at this situation for Sassy. He's got 5 kills already. He's almost got his Hunter's Fury online. The amount of damage he's able to output there, but it's that spray transfer right at the end.
Well, it's like the first 3 were cool. It's that the fact that he then goes to Link as well, who's just nowhere near.
Yep, and it's on the head as well. Just gorgeous. Well, look, that's the round that you want if you're Loud. Getting out of there, not losing anything to Team Liquid's weak buy, but now the weapons come through from Liquid. Look at the pace from Loud. They're already through mid. They rushed up, and Team Liquid, they were none the wiser.
Wow, okay, they go for it again after it was so catastrophic. Not too long ago, Scream! Wow! First shot, phenomenal. Unfortunately, he's been traded out, and this is dirty from Les.
Absolutely
a nice flank. And well, good luck, Link.
Spike planted.
No way to get away with this one, and that is an extreme display of pace. These guys, they don't just do what they did before in the mid-split, but they just ran it down, and it's not something you're expecting from that round where Team Liquid are finally getting their buy up. There's going to be so many dangers to deal with, and Loud just didn't give a damn. Sometimes, and you know, we were talking about this even with Fnatic just the other day, that sometimes you got to just play confident. You got to just come out with some crazy plays. And right now, Loud have set the tone for what this map and series is going to feel like from the Team Liquid perspective.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes off as well, just Loud having the confidence in their duelists. Like, Aspas is a phenomenal player. If you haven't seen him playing in Brazil, you should. It's very enjoyable. I will say no one competes with him. It's basically just him destroying everybody that comes into his path. But that's why Loud's such an exciting prospect, because you have these players like Sassy, who's been around the esports scene for a long time, even in like League, which that's one of the weirdest sort of transfers over to another game I've ever seen, like just going from a completely different style of gameplay. But then you have these young players as well. Like, I think Pancada's another one of them. I think Les is quite young too. It's like you have this mix of experience and then just young firepower.
And we've seen that have so much success in the past. Again, as tragic as it is to bring up FPX, that is exactly the model that they've ran with for the longest of times, and it works. Not to say it's the only way, but it's certainly a reliable one. Solkus, he was going to try to sneak up there. There was a few spams out of him instead, and he's in a bit of an awkward spot. They've seen him up close. This player's holding for him to walk on through, and yeah, they're just going to catch him when he goes back.
Here.
Still another couple of players. You might even expect, because he was so aggressive, that there might not be anybody else around, but you normally have your Viper or somebody on the other side of the map. You've seen Scream there multiple times, so after finding that opening, it's just going to fall back into a default. And this is something, as I said, we'll see this an awful lot from Loud. I think it's the one thing that differs them from a lot of the other teams within Brazil, is they are very happy to slow the pace, reposition, recalculate, and then make their move again.
And it's having the versatility. You got to be able to do that, but also see that same pace we saw in the previous round, right? When you can combine those two, your opponents, from the time that those barriers go up, they are on edge. You don't get to relax against a team like Loud. And these guys are coming in towards the site, but rotates have come through from Liquid already. Navarra's down right away. That's only both the pistols dealt with. Yumpy able to grab one, but it ends just there. And Link, who started this round on back yellow with the rifle, having saved over, is now in exactly the same scenario again. 1v4 retake to play, and it seems like he's going for it with the rifle.
Yeah, I guess at this stage he probably has the finances that he's able to buy in the next round anyway. He's still got both of his snake bites, so that's another thing he doesn't have to repurchase, and you don't want to allow the economy to get too out of control. If you look at the side of Lao right now, majority of players alive are looking at 4,000 or 5,000 credits. That's already a scary point when they're about to survive and get even more.
Just step down. They've heard him. And it looks like at least Aspas is on his way to hunt him down, but he turns back at the last second. So it looks like they'll allow him to save this rifle through. You know, the curiosity for me in him going for it was the fact that we started this round out with Solkus having a Sheriff dueling in the B laneway, and yet Link was back yellow hiding. And that to me, exactly like you theorized there, Tom, I think that was a bait play. It was the idea that, okay, this guy's up close with the Sheriff, you know, maybe Solkis gets 1 or 2, and then they go rushing to the site. They think, all right, let's just wall it off, get the plants, and do the same B retake again. And that's where the Vandal could be huge from back yellow. I don't mind that as an idea, because you know, look, if the first guy's with the Vandal and B laneway and he's taking the fight and he dies, you're not going to get that gun back. They're going to rush it down, they're going to take it. So I like the idea to try and really maximize the output from that one rifle they had, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. Still, it's not all doom and gloom, because they've got a buy round coming right on into this one, and we're starting to see ultimates come online on both sides of the board, but it's definitely Loud leading the charge there, and leading the charge towards B. Solkis again goes down. This time they break his wall. 3 players spraying it. And Scream's about to be spotted as well. They know that he's here. The bait play's really not working out for an incredibly cautious attack side out of Loud.
Yeah, well, they've already managed to clear out the first player who was shooting the drone, and, well, because of that, you'd think, okay, maybe we just be a little bit reckless. We just go aggressively through. Nah, you're playing against Sassy. Not going to happen. He's checking and making sure that no one's in that close corner, and again, they've spotted players on that side of the map. They instantly fall back into this default on A, and there's only 2 players here to defend it.
And even then, they're in pretty hard retake positions at this point. If contact comes through, Nevera might try to pick off one on the cross. You have some utility coming through, but you're not expecting this to turn into an all-out brawl just yet. Hunter's Fury is going to be activated. Look, Loud are waiting for that. They baited it out. They heard the drone. They know it's online. They know that an attempt is going to be made. This is where you probably have Snakebite Shock Dart coming in. Here it comes. Oh, wasn't taking double damage. Slightly off on the timing and on the aim. Tom, it was so close.
They haven't actually managed to take down Sanak, being a little bit over-aggressive now. They've got some very powerful afterplant, and they even have themselves the Hunter's Fury to get rid of this spot. Rez coming through, but the aggression of Scream hasn't been spotted. 3rd kill already for him in the round. Aspas, however, trades straight back, and well, leaving just the brothers remaining. But sometimes that can be enough. Nevera, the only one left, trying to clear out both of these players, and Aspas in his forward position closes the round.
Really well handled by Loud. You see how they have the Hunter's Fury online. That's why they're so eager to commit the Viper's Pit, knowing that that trade is probably going to be made from Team this, because right now, playing retake is not working at all.
Well, yeah, and I think the main issue has just been that Solkas aggression. Like, he's basically just been boomed every time he's tried to push down B, so I feel like there has to be something a little different, and by the looks of it, they're going to at least pressure early into A, but not really spotting anything out. Now, I imagine there's the Bladestorm currently online for Scream, so that at least gives them something to try and play around in this round, and obviously, Yumpy as well on a Marshall, you can never doubt the man.
The one thing I'll say about Solkis' aggression thus far, it's always been for the orbs, right? He's going up to try and siphon it off, to wall off and take an orb and get that res online. You can see Team Liquid have got a lot of weight put into that ultimate and working around it, but Loud's reaction has been perfect every single time. Started this round, Solkis had his wall out, but the contact is there on A, so they're not really going to commit to it just yet. And as they start looking around to see, are these players still here? They realize, yeah, they definitely are. There's a guy up top, they wall down. Oh no, Solkis! Well, he had a pistol, he tried to get out of the corner, and well, he didn't. He did not get out.
I feel like he's getting used as bait basically every round, but then there's not a trade. It's not like the bait is actually giving them anything off the back of it. It's just, Solkas is dead. Did you get the kill? No. So I feel like it has to change. Obviously, this round, it's not so much of a big deal, but again, it's another afterplant. Again, it's another disadvantage for Liquid, and it's a chance for, again, that economy to just go straight through the roof.
And one of the main hopes here was the Bladestorm on screen, but we just saw him taken down by Aspas as he tried to make his way out. I think he ran out of knives as well. Good shot from Yumpy, but how much is it really going to matter? I mean, for them to even dent the economy here of Loud, they've got to get a whole bunch of kills. And when Nevera going down, Sheriff in hand, this is Yumpy's. I mean, he's not going to want to save this even, is he?
No.
Try to do some damage, go down to the spike. Well, you won't have the choice of going down to the spike, but at least he takes Sassy with him.
I almost wonder if Les didn't kill him there, if he would have been able to correct and kill Aspas.
Probably.
I actually, I'm more sure that he would have done than not, which is crazy to just talk about his ability as a player. But, well, speaking of that, he's actually going to go in for that operator. Now, most times, you're not going to see Sova operator.
When you have a jet.
Yeah. But when it's Yumpy, I'm okay with it. Because we've seen him breach operator, and that still somehow seems to work.
Yeah, look, at this point, you know, Yumpy came into the game. We saw him start out with his Killjoy running down on mid. You know, he can do whatever the hell he wants at this point, and I think everyone's going to get behind it. Zilla, having a good game so far.
Switched it. He was trying to pre-fire the previous dart spot, and yeah, Sassy moved it.
It's so important, man. Swapping up those pieces of utility, those arrows coming through. I mean, Jonas will tell you all about it. You got to have multiple lineups because people are just going to get used to it. Really going to do him like that, Tom? Someone's been nice to you, but all right. That was him. All right, Jonas, don't come after me for that one. Team Liquid. Oh, they've actually managed to pick up the opening, and it's Aspis that goes down. Loud having a much tougher time getting towards the B side this time. And Team Liquid have rotated heavily, Tom. There is nobody on the right side of the map.
Yeah.
This is going to be an insanely hard take for Loud.
Yeah, already Scream taken down. Sadak and Navera just pre-firing through the screen as well. It leaves just a couple standing. Scream will go down. Les has managed to find a second already. Not many bullets left in the clip, but any damage he can do would be huge. Trying to pick apart some of the remaining players, but he's not going to get anything more. 3 survive for Liquid. A gamble as they just basically stack up this B once the execution begins, but at the same time, they'll take anything they can get at this point. You all right?
Yep, no, almost fell over the cable.
It would be
again.
a shame if like anybody was to take that and like put it in some sort of like post-match highlight.
I forgot about that until now.
If not, just tweet it.
I can already hear the keys being pressed. Well, 5-3, Tom. We're in a good spot here for both teams. I feel like Loud are going to go back to the drawing board a little bit, and well, actually no, they're going to just go back to basics, going through middle, fast pace out of them. This is going to be an important fight for Navera. He's tagged up by one of the knives. Aspis, though, not able to take him down. The trade is good, but Link now tucked up close. Will they expect him to be here? Surely not. Who's holding over towards the choke point, you know? Why would he be in the corner? That's a huge kill for Link, but he's surrounded, Tom. There are players everywhere, and he needs help from his teammates. Yumpy with an operator will connect, but leaves him on 4 HP.
They've also got the res. They're going to have to try and cover off that player, which has not happened at all. Les has just had a freebie. Got himself an extra orb, and Sadak now trading back onto Yumpy. This is starting to fall apart. This was looking like almost a done deal. Link will find another, but again, into the 2v2. Never mind, make it 1. Scream was lurking on the other side in case they made it back, but he's still got eyes on the spike. He doesn't connect. They managed to get themselves around the corner. Now watching this together, and while the dash is just going to put him between the 2 remaining. That fell apart for Liquid so quickly, and Loud, well, right back on the board.
Wasn't a terrible idea dashing in there. You know, if Sassy had it been a little bit more focused on planting the spike, if they didn't have that instant reaction of Sadak dropping down and the call being made, let's fight this guy together, play on the contact, that's exactly what they needed to do. And so the dash in to create the space ends up with them just going down instantly. With 6 rounds on the board, Louder looking incredibly good, Tom, because again, this should be 7, right, in theory? Although with the way this tournament's been going, the eco win rates have been nuts. So it's still a round you need to be cautious of, but the reason that I'm kind of confident in it is that Loud have been very good in the anti-ecos. They're not giving anything away.
No, I said I genuinely think they got one of the best defaults in the entire tournament. Incredibly patient, good with their calls, and sure, they've been caught in a trap once or twice. It's always going to happen every once in a while. Scream will find a headshot. The rest of the team slowly making their way towards B. Now, again, there's this 3 stack, but have you noticed how they've had to switch to just have Navera watch mid? Like, that's his entire job now. Yeah. It's just watch mid, because they can't leave it unchecked anymore after how many rounds they've just run under the tube.
Yeah, I mean, Loud have done it 3 times and quite successfully in 2. The only one they lost was the eco, so they've got to be feeling pretty good about that split. But even still, they're going to be moving towards the site from a different angle this time around. Going in where they've had these constant 5v5 retakes, this time with a Viper's Pit online in a 4v4 and a Hunter's Fury post plant. This is again going to be a very tough round for Team Liquid, even if they had rifles.
It's just about maybe. That could be huge, because he might have a free kill in just a second because of this elevated Viper's Pit. It's actually played against them. Pancada goes down, and now you see the knives come online for Scream. There's a chance here, and they missed the snake bite. Everything's going wrong for Loud.
Quick kill by Scream, another shot connected. That's 4 on the board. The Hunter's Fury is popped, and they're trying to deny the defuse, but time is going to be the main constraint here. And it looks like Liquid have more than enough. As I said, Tom, you know, it should be 7, but this tournament, we have seen teams step it up on Ecos.
The thing is, though, I'm not sure that's necessarily... Like, obviously, Scream had to get all the kills.
He did pretty good.
The only reason that works is because of firstly, the elevated Viper's Pit. Otherwise, they would have been able to see him. And the second reason it works is because they didn't have the snake bites actually landing. They bounce off. So those are two things that basically just give the freedom to Scream to just run riot. And you can't give that man any.
Yeah, give it to Yumpy. Let him play those ranged angles. This time, though, it is in Nevera's hands to kick off the round.
Yeah, and it seems like they've left him, well, with, of course, the Scream to actually just hold on to that A site and have so much utility to basically try and delay. On the other side, they're going to go for somewhat of a mid play, and Sadak is almost waiting patiently in case anybody's going to make that move. But because it's destroyed, well, I was going to say there's not much else they can do. Yumpy gets a tag at least, but it's not much.
It's Aspis and Sassy having their armor removed at least, but
yeah,
that's really going to be situational whether it ends up mattering or not as we go on. At this point, you've also got Aspis healed up, so it's just the 50 removed from him. Minute on the clock, and Loud pump the brakes. They've got the B-side and mid pushes covered by the utility out of Sadak, and then they're just waiting for aggression to come through from Team Liquid, knowing that, you know, it has in the majority of rounds when they really slow it down. But this time, Team Liquid are completely pausing the pace. This recon they've put out hasn't seen anybody, though. I wonder if they'll decide with such a passive B hold to rotate over early. We've seen them stack up before. And in the positions they're in, Tom, again, I hate to see it. It almost looks like they're going to have to play retake again. No, in fact, in comes Sage. They could fight for this if they want to. But as they decide to go back, it means Yumpy's stuck down below all by himself.
Well, that's the thing. They've got the lockdown, and this time there's not really much to destroy it. They put it in a bit of an obscure position, so to try and break it's going to be tough. And still, they've got to clear Yumpy from this site. Look at the time, Mitch. There's only about 15 seconds left, and look at the positions now of Liquid. They've managed to reclaim a lot of that control. Running in here to plant is going to be really difficult, and with Soulcast playing so close, there's absolutely nothing they can do. Liquid have played this perfectly, and Loud, well, they look flabbergasted.
Very well played. I mean, this time around, the retake works, as you said, without anything to take that lockdown out of play. You see exactly why Nevera was running from the site. The key point was Yumpy had to stay alive. If Aspis was able to close in the distance in that first duel and get to the site, destroy that lockdown, the round falls apart. But they deny the space by having him there. And even though he takes a few tags on the way out, I think he got taken down by Sadak's ultimate. Didn't really matter in the end because the clock was then the biggest enemy.
No, and I think what Liquid have started to do is just be patient. Like, we've seen some of the slower rounds really catch them out with the fact that they've over-rotated and had to fall back. This time, they knew what they had in play. They knew they had the ultimates, so they're a little bit more patient. Again, we're going to see this B control initially fought for, but there's still lurks all around the map just in case Liquid try and get a little cheeky.
Yeah, well, Sadak's in the same position that he caught, well, Scream caught him in, I suppose, previously. He did get to see him first, but he didn't get to shoot first. There's a kill from Nevera. That's happening towards the A site. Sadak taken down. Doesn't give any information away, really. They're going to have Sova rotate around, probably pop in the recon when it comes back online or drone it out for now to clear if there's anyone outside of A. But look at this B site. Scream tucked on back yellow. 2 players still around this mid area, and they're going to be distracting, causing some noise, allowing Scream to maybe get their jump, but they were watching for it, and a great shot out of Pancata. They've got the site now.
He can't quite plant just yet because of the counter utility that's coming down. Needs to make sure he's not going to be caught out as he goes for it. And another tag actually landed. I think he gets pinged out. But for now, at least he survives. And that's huge. But he then goes down. No, it's Sassy that goes down through the edge of the screen. A little bit unlucky for his teammate, I guess.
Blind shots through, and they land. Shock darts coming in. The res on Sassy now in play. They're going to spam that just the same, and the operator takes it down. But in the meantime, exactly, Aspis was taking advantage of those tracers to take down another player. They traded out, and Loud are going to hope that time is on their side. But as Liquid mount up this retake, you need someone to step it up. Aspis takes the first. He's holding the position, his teammates covering the cross, time on their side. With only 1 player left alive, Link, I think he tried to pop out his ult there at the end, but Loud have got a 7th. Very impressive half out of the left side, I have to say.
Hard to do the second half.
There's 2 of us now?
Woo!
Let's go.
I did a really good impression in the last half, though. Like, I mean,
come on.
Little
I
bit
was listening.
offensive.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly there,
Okay.
but you know,
I tried my best.
We got there. It was quick, it was brief, and really that's all we need to know about it. We're coming on into the second half, Tom, and the attack for Liquid now about to be tested. Loud have been impressive so far, but like we said, decent recovery by Liquid keeps them in contention. What a shot to open things up, though.
Okay, by screens. He hit Navira as well. That first shot hit Navira. Look, Navira's just healing himself up. This guy's gross. How's he managed to get away with that much damage within just 2 shots in the first few seconds? He should have 2 kills realistically. And now, well, it's going to be very difficult for Liquid to take this space.
Shock darts blindly thrown over. Aspis peeks out on the back, does some more good damage. Taking off most of the health that Navera healed up, but Team Liquid, they're keeping their options open here. The turret was watching their back the entire round, but Sadik is watching for that flank to come through, for the rotate to happen. Unfortunately not able to hit the shot, but he'll use it just to reposition. I notice he's bought 6 bullets into his headhunter in this round.
Yeah, absolute baller.
Don't know if he went for all 8 and then fired 2, I'm not sure.
Well, no, he's got a trap down, so...
Oh, he has a trap down. Ah, yes. There we go.
He must have
covering out kitchen.
Just the one.
That's crazy, man. So he's got constant kitchen control this whole round and the ability to one-shot, headshot all 5 players.
Like, if you miss 6 bullets, if anything,
left.
you deserve to get shot anyway.
Oh,
so,
for
you
sure.
know.
Of a headhunter especially in a pistol round. Yeah, if someone's peeking you down
time.
pretty long
Like,
with a classic.
There's 20 seconds left for Liquid to try and get into this B site. And they're not even close. Like, they've got to go running all the way through. I feel like they might have hoped that the rotation's gone back, and it has. But, if anything, they're still going to get into position. And they had the luck from Yumpy. That's brilliant. They just waited for that TP to come back through from Sadak, didn't break it, and got a kill for free.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an oversight. I like what Yumpy's going for here. The flank out through mid, late. Where he's actually going to stay inside of kitchen for now.
He's heard them.
He knows exactly what's going on. As they're so focused on breaking this wall and making forward progress, they're not really thinking about their back just yet. Some good timing out of Yumpy on the way through. Now we just wait for that orb to go down, for these players to walk back, and for Yumpy to strike. There it is. His 3rd kill of the round, leaving Les all alone. And he won't be dealt with by Yumpy, but there's more than enough players to close that one out. 6 found for Liquid, and they're going to close in on Loud's lead.
I always find it really interesting the way that Yumpy actually plays this agent, because it's almost like he's a free roam Sova, which I would argue for someone to try and find another one of those. It doesn't really exist. Normally you're like setting up teammates, putting down utility for different people. He's just like, guys, I'm on the lurk. And he's just managed to find incredible timing.
We were talking about Jonas earlier. If you want to talk about someone using utility for themselves, I mean, you know, assists aren't really there. It's whatever, but...
I thought I was the one throwing the shade, but fair enough.
No, that was Tom doing an
impression
impression
of me
That was my impression
again.
again.
Of course.
Sorry about that. I'm back, though. 1 round for Liquid to start things off. They invest decently. They get Spectres out, a Marshall as well. But Loud aren't going to let it go all too easily. I mean, they've got the Headhunter still on Sadik, having not really had an opportunity to fire too many bullets. And he bought up a few more. The Marshall in the hands of Aspis as well. But those weapons have essentially been discounted to start things out. The utility keeping them out of sight, and Loud are going to have to play the retake.
Are they going to check for this? I feel like there's absolutely no chance, and a free kill at least for Sadak. He hasn't actually used the rendezvous yet, so could still look to just escape, but he's got the high ground. He's holding aggressively and knows that basically everybody's rotated off at this point, so the rest of his team are just looking for those far back players.
I like that he's just covering the push-up for now, but he's going to have to reposition to help out his teammates and stopping these players from peeking up on top of Belt as they go for the defuse. It's just now being tapped to bait out the utility. Good shot by Sadik. See, as soon as Yumpy peeks out, he's there ready for them. 2 kills already under their belt. We'll see what more damage they can do, and it's actually becoming a very winnable round with Link all alone. 1v3 rushing forward. Time's on his side, though. He just needs to pull them off that defuse for a second. Is he going to be able to? It's close, and they don't get it in the end. Oh, man. Well, look. All things considered, pretty good second round out of Loud, even though they don't win.
Yeah, technically that was a Red Bull clutch coming through from Blink, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm going to give him that one.
No one's celebrating that one.
Because even if he had died, it still would have been a Red Bull clutch because the Spike didn't have enough time on it. But yeah, no, an incredible round for Loud. Like the fact that they managed to take down all 5 players with barely any investment. The purchase that's going to be coming up for Liquid, if there is a purchase, is going to suck, because normally you'd go for some sort of like eco in this position, but well, actually they are. They're just going for 1 hero rifle and that's it. It's horrible for them.
That's a lovely little shock dart bouncing around. Obviously, you get the double bounce on it, so you get the information if you do destroy some utility, but
that's meant just for the trap. That's a really weird place to stand.
Yeah, it is,
like,
isn't it?
I'm going to stand where the trap would normally be. It's like, no, don't do that.
Pancat has learned his lesson now, I'm sure. It didn't cost him all too much. He's able to heal himself up, but it's going to be shields stripped off him at least. Better start than I think Liquid will realize that they have. But
and Scream with the hero rifle is taking a lot more damage. I wouldn't be overly surprised if he went to give this to someone else. It's not like he's particularly close to his ultimate either, whereas Yumpy has managed to earn his up just by grabbing that orb. So not in a bad spot at all.
The timing was terrible. Sadek pulled off the angle at just the wrong moment. They know exactly where he was going, but they couldn't find him. Sadek barely surviving.
Uh-oh.
These weapons are now going to look to spam and stop the plant, but they can't get there in time. Sure, Solkus goes down, but now the ability to play post-plant gives Team Liquid a lot more to work with these weaker weapons. And look at what Scream is doing. The man with the rifle, starting a flank this late. Yeah. They've cleared it. They don't think he can possibly come at this point. This could be huge if his teammates can buy enough time.
Yeah, they've got the Nano Swarm, so that's at least managed to delay a little bit, but Les has started to take some aggressive control. He can't kill off the remaining players, and just look, Scream's already in from behind, but they're defusing. And I don't think he's heard it, so he's just sat back, maybe wanting to save the rifle for the next round, realizing it's already done, but yeah, he wasn't there quick enough.
Okay. Yeah, I think for him to move forward and risk that rifle, you needed an extra 5 seconds there out of Team Liquid, and it allowed Right to up the pace and pushing back in and taking those duels. Not playing it, you know, passive and scared of the pistols that are in play. Instead, using the weaponry that they have to their advantage and making sure that no late round timings can catch them off. That's the round for Loud that we expected to see them with, but again, we get the rifles out for Team Liquid, and so here's where things can get really interesting.
Yeah, the save, that's what it does. It basically means that Scream actually has a rifle for this round. Again, we're going to see this shock dart coming through. Doesn't actually destroy the trap because they put it a little bit deeper just to make sure, and well, that information can be fed through, whereas Pancata actually now looks to actually take a little bit of extra space. In fact, they've taken a lot of space. They're pushing A, and, well, you can see where Sadek is.
Yeah, he's going to have to TP out of here, destroying the drone first and not overstaying his welcome. A good choice with the entirety of Team Liquid just sitting outside that B site. We're about to blitz him down. So with that anchor used up, he's off the site. They're giving up a lot of control. And with this wall coming out of Viper over on Team Liquid, Link can essentially just knock off all of the map control that Loud have, all of the information that they have. They don't know how many players are moving towards this site, but they are still going to start the rotate, gambling that this is where the hit's coming in. And now they know that for sure.
Oh, and not going to get the plant. That's huge. Now that they've denied that, at least they can start to break the remainder of the wall, and Liquid have to basically reposition completely. You can see the whole team is starting to run back. Les spots this, and with Link there, Aspas is actually going to join him. This cross just became a hell of a lot more deadly as Aspas could opt to fight them, but they actually think the rest of the team might have gone through, so they're just going to rotate straight to A.
30 seconds left.
Link got a poison orb up there, but it's not going to be used on crossover. He's got to the site now. Snakebite down the back, but that doesn't deter them at all. Aspas just keeps on going. 2 quick frags, leaving it all into the hands of Nevera. He needs an ace clutch in 15 seconds. It's not exactly the most doable, and Les makes sure that this is a prime gaming flawless for Loud. A big money-making round, and what an important time to get it at now that Team Liquid have just invested all of their economy into that. Loud are set to potentially push to double digits.
They're so good at just having these combos in. Like, it's happened so many times, the snakebite combo alongside the shock dart, that there was no real chance for the player to get away. You can't react. It's not impossible, but I would say this is a great chance, not only for Loud to get that economy back to where it was in the last half, but also they're getting very close to a hell of a lot of ults.
That is a very scary prospect as well. If they manage to gain control over the actual economy, the credit economy, and then the ult econ as well, things can get very scary for Team Liquid when they do decide to invest into those rifles. In this round here, Team Liquid taking it slow, but it is going to be a mid-split. By the looks of things, they're actually going to try to creep through to Kitchen. Now, this has been watched by the Trap all of the time, but the big difference in how a lot of teams are playing this, you still have Pancata here pretty much all the time, playing around Kitchen. He's making steps on the way back. Look at that! Screen blocks out the utility, and they have no idea! It's huge! Oh, wow! Rifle retrieved, sight for Team Liquid, and yet again, Tom, massive success on an eco!
Scream is popping with the pistol. I feel like that's an EMEA trait at this point. It's just very good with pistols. It comes with the nature. And while for the remaining players on this team, they've got to try and isolate the Jules. The rest of them are almost just waiting for him to try and get some damage done. Might be able to spot him above, but Sassy hasn't seen him. Just still lurking around the rest of the team. He's hiding within them. He's almost one of them at this point, but Aspas has spotted the traitor. At this point, though, it doesn't really matter. It seems like things are falling apart. Sassy, though, he actually managed to get a little bit more aggressive. Les has found another one, and they just wiped them out in a matter of seconds.
That looked like it was going to be a fumble of a round. In fact, it still might be. That's pretty close. Just about. 1.5 seconds to spare, and on an eco to be decided by just a couple of seconds. Well, it's not what Loud would have wanted. Good thing is, they built up their economy, so they're not going to be struggling in that sense. They've got an ult econ to work with, but look at this, man. Both of them as well. And it's just that cloudburst that goes down. It's the timing as well, because Scream heard the player running away. He waited and thought, okay, he probably won't hear it now. Pop down the cloudburst, and they don't react to it in time, if they even heard it at all. That's incredible. And now Team Liquid, look, they're sitting 7-10. This is their chance, though. They've got to go all in on this round.
Yeah, for sure. And if they lose it, I feel like they're going to be slipping away from this map, and their map choice at that. As I said, it was a surprise going in. They tried to punish Pick Loud, and, well, with the depth of map pool of the Brazilian team, it doesn't look like that's been working out so far. We do, however, have Scream on his Bladestorm. We've already seen him pop off with that once, and, well, with his pistols and as well as that. But for now, at least, they're taking it slow. Look at the push on the other side, though, Mitch. They're already down mid.
And they've droned it. The only thing I'll say about that is you now, on Team Liquid, know that they have info behind you. But Loud used that as a fake, almost. The drone goes down, and the players instantly move to the A site. Viper's pin in play. They're locking out the rotation with Sadik watching it with an operator. They have a ton of control here on the defensive side. Right now, Liquid think that, oh, well, they thought that they were posturing for the side. Yada, yada, who cares? They've just killed Les through the Viper's pit. That is down. And so you wouldn't expect them to be moving here, but they are. And Sadik's able to pick up the first. Now setting up for another. He's seen Scream, but he won't hit the shot.
Yeah, I was worried because he got forced off the angle in mid, took a lot of damage, but still managed to reposition, and they didn't expect him to be here. Still actually holding such an aggressive spot. They just haven't spotted this, man! Sadik doesn't manage to connect, though. He gets taken out, but Sassy's there to drop the spike, and the time is ticking. In fact, he might even get a second. In fact, he's tagged both instead. The remaining two of Liquid low on life, and while they are falling apart at the seams, it's left all onto Navira, and I don't think he has a hope in hell.
Got a lockdown, but definitely not going to be using it here. Headshots need to be found. That's great, but he can't follow up on Aspas. A 140 dink. He survives, and well, Loud walk away with 11. That is heartbreaking for Team Liquid, having invested so much here. This was their chance to keep themselves alive on Icebox. Now it is more than an uphill battle. They are facing into what is an extremely weak round for them. This play out of Sadik, I mean, it could have found so much more as well. That's the thing. Like you saw there, he misses the headhunter shots.
That is also like one of the riskiest things I've ever seen a player do, because he basically he held mid, watched them cross, then ran aggressively into B, and they just didn't expect him to be there because they saw him take so much damage. Then he TPs back, but then he runs back in again, and that's the point. They hear him use the rendezvous, they go, well, he's not going to be there again, is he? And so nobody clears it on the way past. Big risk, but hey, Sadik just got the reward for it.
He doesn't do that in round 1. He doesn't do it in round 2. He waits until now because he's conditioned them. Oh, when I run away, it's I'm TPing out of here, and I'm going to kitchen or spawn, and I'll hold from snowman. But no, he was playing aggressive that time. Now, he's going aggressive again because the site over on A has been lost. Everything going to be committed here for Team Liquid, throwing themselves at this round. They found some good success to start with.
Spike planted.
Yeah, a solid opener. They managed to use a couple of ults to not only give them the space, but find a kill off the back of it. And
last player standing.
You know, Pancada thought that he could sneak his way through. He couldn't. Scream is waiting and watching, and Sadik, well, although their finances are pretty good still, I think he's just going to opt to try and save this into the next round. A complete turnaround for Liquid. Like, just a pace change, quick push in. But again, it's something that they're not going to be able to do in the next one. Like, you're not going to have the lockdown again. You're not going to have the Hunter's Fury. That was basically their free opening into the site. So It's not the end of the world for Loud, but it is a stepping stone for Liquid.
Yeah, and remember, I said this was going to be a very weak round for Liquid. It certainly doesn't look like it because they walk out with the Prime Gaming flawless, but they came into that round with half shields on a lot of players, with Bulldogs. They had to really fill in the gaps.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't even see anything on the replay.
I'm almost certain he didn't either.
Oh no, he did! He spotted him before!
The tour de force, the quick switch, and the time to fire on it is so crazy. Ah, yes, he has the Blade Storm. I was going to ask what Aspas was doing with his life, but yes, okay. Blade Storm to play with, and a Stinger
He's not planning
up.
on coming back. Let's put it this way. Like, where this man currently is, this is a solo mission.
Well, it's not really, because he's got Sadik with him as well, the tour de force.
But Sadik can just TP out.
Yeah, well, that's the big difference, right? You're not going to be able to dash through the wall, unfortunately. If you're a Jet, you got to stay aggro there. They're not going to find anything, and it looks like, in a way, Team Liquid, whether they have a read on it or not, they are avoiding the main danger in this round.
Yeah, especially with less being basically alone. Now, again, we're going to see this drone through mid, which doesn't really spot anything, and that instantly pulls a rotation. It means they don't have to hold under the tube anymore because, well, they've spotted that there's no one near the tube.
Now, they've got the ability to play retake on B. Now, obviously, you've got an... Interesting. You've got a... trap right down below them to cover when they cross out. I wonder what the reaction is from Loud, though, because they have 4 players in position right now. And, okay, there's the trap. They're now moving towards the site, so you're going to put a snake bite down. There is a poison orb as well. It's not activated just yet.
I like this adaptation. They've really struggled, but they're still going to struggle here. Yumpy trying to turn the tide. He gets absolutely nothing, and Link's flank is just a little bit late. He doesn't even connect. Any chance of this round again is just seemingly slipping away, and, well, I think they already knew where he was, but now can confirm he isn't even able to hold in a spot which would do anything. Sassy able to close, and Loud make that one look easy.
That is a very impressive round for Loud for a number of reasons. The way that they play so passive on the B side, the fact that, you know, when we compare some of Team Liquid's early rounds, their B holds often meant that Solkus went down in the first couple of seconds, that the players around yellow...
Much more aggro.
Absolutely. Right here, Loud, they take a step back, even though you have someone spotting it, he's running back, taking his orb with him, setting up post plants, and the fact that that orb is on the ground, and they've already seen a snake bite come through, it sort of builds up to Liquid saying, let's take a little bit more control, let's play aggressive. And like you said, I like that play. It's a good play, but they didn't know how many players were already waiting for them.
Aspas is going to get tagged up close. It doesn't matter, though. His teammate of Sadak has already got the pick onto Navira. It's looking like the beginning of the end for this first map, and well, with this aggressive position, there's potential. No, they actually smoke him off. So they do actually get the res through without too many problems. However, there's still 3 players waiting on this site for Liquid.
Who says Jet isn't a smoker, you know? There's proof right there.
Oh, you want to change it to controller, yeah?
Yeah. Primary controller. No problem. 4 rounds between them. Team Liquid have a really tough road ahead of them, and even more so if Aspas is able to do that. We've already had an operator pick the res, equalized it, but we're back into Loud's advantage, and Sadik is set up yet again, ready to TP out. He'll tank. Oh no, what a shot! Little bit of damage connected, good position, but Team Liquid still end up coming ahead in those duels. And as they fight for the site, I think they're going to get a plant for free.
Welcome to my world.
They've also got the Viper's Pit after plant with vision as well, and Jumpy already picking off another sneak through, but Aspas has managed to find one. Looking for a little bit more, but Link's gone through the other side. If he gets this kill, the Viper's Pit is gone, and actually the spam from Aspas will find another. Now the afterplant is still in play. You've got this close position from Yuppie, who's expected him to do that. 3rd kill on the round already, and of course you've still got those nano swarms available to deny any sort of defusal. Aspas desperately looking for the spot of his opponent, but he's found absolutely nothing. In fact, he's playing ring around a Rosie with a player that's not even there. It's a complete fallback from the remaining players, and they still have utility to play with. He has no choice but to duck out of this round, and Liquid will live to fight another day.
Especially with that operator on the floor, it's worth just picking up. You know, Loud aren't in that poor of a spot economically, especially with Aspas saving, but the reality is you got 3 more rounds to play, and you never know what that can look like. Definitely the right call up against Util, up against an operator, and in the hands of Yumpy, who is 22-16. He's having a better time with this operator than Aspas is on the Jet. And I mean, it just comes back to really show you why it's You know, any other team, I'm trying to think of absolutely any other team that I would look at, see the Sova with an AWP,
I'll be honest.
the Jet without, and go, oh, that's a good idea.
It's not the same. But if Nuke picked it up, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, well, okay. Again, though, we're picking out players who can do anything.
Yeah.
You could, if Nuke picks up a stinger every round, I'm okay with it, you know? Like, we can't really argue with that.
I like how they moved the trap back into a spot that would be harder for Scream to smoke, just in case he tried to do that again.
Yeah.
It's hit him round the corner, so it will be an insta-pop. They managed to force out Sadak in the early round position. Again, our controller of Scream tries to smoke off that cross and almost bait them into thinking someone has gone past. However, they have not.
Someone's going to think you're serious, Tom. You're going to get a tweet after this.
Oh my god.
Right here.
Jet is not
Actually,
a controller.
it's a duelist, man.
What a noob. That bit's true.
Gold casters. That bit's true, too. For you, at least.
Gold's pretty, man. You know?
Gold is pretty. It's the prettiest metal. It's the prettiest metal. Oh, here we go. 3 rounds between them. Team Liquid mounting the B attack. We're going to see the plant attempted. Sadak still up top. An aggressive wall out of them. That's going to get a plant for sure. Maybe not for sure, but they've dealt with Sadak. And then Sulcus decided he wanted a little bit more.
Yeah, I wanted to try and take them down. I guess maybe expecting that there was no escape. The problem is they've got the rest, so Sadak is right back from the fray. Yumpy into the swing and he's going to win that battle, puts him back in the grave, and now this time Link actually has the timing, but it's a double rotation. They've got Scream in behind as well, so even if they kill off Link, he can be as aggressive as he wants. He can fight all the way forward if he wants to, and Scream will just be waiting in behind. The fact is, Link might be enough on his own. He's just battling versus Pancada, and finally he has fallen, but the time is already gone. Scream's like, don't worry guys, I'm coming in on the flank, but it's already over, and he got there in the end.
He did. That's why
he normally laser smokes.
That's why he wanted to fight someone from behind that time. It's just aim was a little off, I guess. That's a first. Take a picture of that one. 2 rounds to go before Team Liquid can hit an overtime, and it's starting to feel a lot more doable. It's not like these rounds are being decided by massive plays individually. This is a different game plan that's worked out, even with Sulcus. And I think the reason he wanted to get aggressive was the fact that they had the res online, tried to take the space ahead, maybe catch them off guard on the way through. Again, not a bad idea out of Team Liquid, and I like the aggression they go for. It's just that Loud seem to constantly already have 3 players or more around this side of the map, and so they're ready to catch that aggro.
But that's why I like the reposition of the plant, because it's a little bit safer than the standard wall, which everybody on their team has been spamming all the way through. It's just the previous time they were somehow ready for that one as well. This time, though, looking a little bit more standard. Aspas, we haven't seen him play the operator too much. It's mostly been on Sadak, but he's taken the reins in this round and is just looking to try and dominate on that A site. He's going to come under pressure, though, but he might be able to avoid the drone. He's just hiding behind the wall, but he has eventually been spotted out.
He's going to be able to destroy that drone. Scream really wanted to take him down there, man. He is running it down. Link has been flanking again and again. Loud seem to be ready for it. They're still being quite cautious of this angle and of the orb. As the orb goes down, that seems to change. Now they focus on the site itself and getting back in there to retake. Of course, Link can't actually push up just yet. There's a trap down there waiting for him, and it'll detect him if he tries to make his way through. He's going to destroy it and run forward. They're now looking at their back, trying to take down these flankers. They get one, but again, that second. Oh no, Scream! He's whiffed it out. This could be dangerous. He goes down, and it's already being defused halfway. Yep, he's going to run in. He'll get there just in time. Oh no! The Sadak gets it done. Does he have enough time?
Oh my
yes,
God.
he does. 13 to 10. Loud have gotten away with murder in that round. Team Liquid really let that one Let's take a look at some good old Valorant, though, because we're right on into map number 2. It's Haven, and Team Liquid are going to be kicking things off on the defense. They lost map 1, which was their map pick, and now as they come onto Haven, Loud will look to close this out. We're looking at a C play to start things off, but a lot of control coming in for Loud, having their turret on mid, having Sassy watching for the A long push. I don't know that they'll necessarily come with the same pace we've seen from them before, and in fact I hope they don't, because look at Team Liquid, 3 players stacked up on C. They seem to have a very good idea that this is what Loud would like to do in the pistol.
Oh, that's going to be so much information. Spotting almost the entirety of the team, but they're going to try and execute off this, clearing some of the closer angles, and Yumpy's still just going to sit back. The flash through! Soulcast already manages to pick up a couple. careful. We talk about comfort for this man. This was the agent. He always found his form. And well, now, the remaining two, their positions known, trying to make their way, continuing into this C site, but the entirety of the team are here. They should be able to get one with the shock dart, but it will not be enough. Liquid kick things off with a bang, and they will get the pistol.
And good prediction from them. I don't know whether to chalk that up to them doing their homework or maybe playing a little bit of a gamble. The early control over A, no one pushing up. Whatever it was, Team Liquid gambled on the right side. They win the pistol with what is now a very exciting conversation. Solk is playing on the sky.
Yeah.
As you said, Tom, this is where he redeemed himself. There was a point where people were calling for him to be dropped from the Liquid roster, going back to First Strike. And he turned around and came from a pretty underwhelming player to one of the best skies we had in the world in what felt like overnight. Now that he's back on this here, well, I'm excited to see what he'll be able to do.
He stuck around. I thought he was going to leave after the first shot. He missed the first one. To stick around for a couple more, all right. I see you, Nevera. To be honest, I think that's what this whole comp is. Like, Yumpy's always seemingly really enjoyed or really succeeded playing on Breach. Nevera on a chamber, it's obvious, so I don't think anybody needs to talk about that. Scream's Jet in the last map looked great. I guess Link seems to be able to play anything, so I don't know if this is his favorite. I don't think we'll find out, but yeah, I think that's what they've gone for in this map, and I like it because it's the way of life with Liquid. You'll go for some cool, interesting comps, and then you go back to the basics and they just look sick.
Another.
All right.
A headshot onto Aspis. He's
back.
going back out for more, this guy. Well, Nevera's on the way towards the tour de force pretty early on, and Team Liquid are building up cash with a Prime Gaming Flawless. It's a great start to their opponent's map pick, but now the weapons get pulled out by Loud.
Yeah, the thing is, if Nevera can get aggressive here, either find a pick or get himself an AWP, he is getting incredibly close to that tour de force, which we know that he can dominate with that in rounds. So there's definitely still some danger here. All the other ultimates are not even close to being online, so realistically, there's still going to have to be an awful lot for Liquid to be able to win this one. And on the other side of things, this is where we get the fall buy. But there's pieces missing, because they've only had 2 kills onto Pancada, and everyone else is going to miss.
This man in position yet again. And of course the shot lands. It just doesn't seem to miss. With that shot connected, Nevera's back to the A site with indeed just 1 orb left for a tour de force, which could be a big difference maker in this round. Yumpy does well to find one from his position. Nevera's locked out though, caught behind the smoke. He pushes through. The headhunter not doing anything for him. And without a method of escape, he is going to be dealt with. That's at least tour de force online for the next round, and a good bit of damage done. But with Screen going down, this is going to be a really tough round for Link to get anything done in. Well handled by Loud in the end, and I think they've achieved the bare minimum there, especially with how poorly it starts. Losing a couple of players, they've done well to get out with 3.
Yeah, no, incredibly well. I was either thinking that they'd get away with a maximum of like 2 or maybe even lose the round just with how much success there was in the early rounds. But again, recovering well, making sure they clear all of the angles together. And again, I spoke about this earlier, seeing Sadak move away.
To see exactly what round 4 entails, because Tom, just like I told you, man. It's a quick tech pause, bro. Don't worry about it. A couple seconds and we're back into the game.
Stop talk. Play game. Here we go.
Need a drop.
Time to kick things off. Well, you can see that Loud have got their rifles to play with, but Aspis is going to have to go down to a weaker weapon. He's just bought the Spectre, and they're all caught by that stun. Nevera's out here with the tour de force, looking to catch them on the crossover, and there's a free shot for him. Even more gone for, but he won't land it.
And it seemed close, but not quite there. Even still, though, the fact that he's managed to get a free opener for them, it's going to make things a little bit more difficult, because that's also flank control gone. Less being lost means that there could be aggression elsewhere on the map, and that's something that will have to consistently be in the back of the mind of the Loud players.
Sassy was about to fire a recon through. They decided instead to just clear out the angle, and a flash comes through, and here's the push. Nice space taken, and now a bit of pressure on to Nevera. Evidently not. 3 kills, and the round is theirs. The tour de force being as central a piece as we suspected it might be.
Yeah, again, it's a Prime Gaming Flawless coming out from Liquid, but the main thing that I think nobody really expects when you're playing against a chamber, because the majority of people will be like, okay, I've got 1 kill, now I'm going to TP out. He doesn't do that. It's 2. It's always 2 every single time. He just makes sure, okay, I've done as much as I can. And the fact is they have to focus on him still, and it gives space to other players. It's the most quasi-duelist, and for someone who was a phenomenal AWPer in previous titles, he's so good at just finding the value of a weapon that fires that quickly.
We're coming on into round number 5, Loud. Weak weapons all around, and they're going to up the pace to make up for that lack of ranged weaponry. Camara's in a little bit of trouble here. Not going to be able to push all the way through, but Scream, well, he does exactly that. He goes right on forward, updrafts above. He's repositioning like a madman. Loud just cannot find him, and with the spike now dropped on the floor, they're going to have a damn tough time getting back in here, especially with Scream popping heads like that. And Cat has got a little trick up his sleeve, though. And look, these players are low, but if Sassy especially can manage to sneak on through, now with those traps gone, he's actually gone all the way through Garage. And with a little bit of noise here from Pancata, maybe they can catch him off guard. Right. Sassy walks right into Link, but somehow wins that duel. This is scary for Liquid.
Oh, it's scary. Just for a second, it's scary, but now it's left on to Sassy. They spotted him elsewhere. The peek back through. He's still managing to connect these shots, but thankfully, Soulcast is going to put him in the dirt. Now you have to remember, that was what, a 2 versus 5 with the spike down.
On an eco. Just take a look as we check back in here. 10 seconds left. He's on his way over to pop the traps down. Going to TP himself to the A site. And then I presume that's going to be some maybe short aggression coming out of him, peeking out on long like we've seen before, holding the control. But we can see that swap up. He can be on C side. He can be aggressive down mid, just like Scream is. With the Blade Storm in hand, they have been caught off guard by Liquid's pace this time.
Les is having a nightmare. No matter where he goes, he's dead within the first 20 seconds of the round. And the fact is, that adaptation from Scream was basically, oh, you're expecting my brother to push. Well, you know what? I can do it as well. Navira, he sticks around. It's just so bold. Like, if that's an instant headshot out from Aspas, it's a space loss. But they actually correct and find him with the Hunter's Fury instead.
Did that connect just there? No, it didn't. Okay, it looked very close. Solkas could have been in trouble. Still, the retake has to be played for now for Team Liquid. They've got a Rolling Thunder to work with to potentially fight their way back in towards this side, and it looks like that's what they're setting up for right now. Rolling Thunder for the side itself. It's not going to catch anybody out towards short. This is huge for Loud. They've got the manpower still to work with. And as Team Liquid run forward, they're not expecting them to be stacked up like this, ready to take the duels, having retaken the map control after the Rolling Thunder. Well handled by Loud. Screams, making a good attempt at it. Up in the air somehow. Oh!
How does he get Sassy? How does he get Sassy? Oh my god.
If you can imagine the world where he hit those tags in the first place, he would have ace clutched that round. That is a Scream round and decided by a split. Like, look at this. He's so close to getting him.
Can we just delete the first bit of this? Like, I don't want to see this again, ever.
Oh, man.
But this.
And it was the right-click classic out of Aspas. It's just unbelievable. And the fact that he survives it with just some bizarre jet movement, that was something else.
A lot of ults used in that last round. Aspas is just running and gunning. He's going straight forward into the site, completely blind in the corner. He's playing with just a classic. I don't know what's gone wrong there. Les has been able to trade things out. Pancata gets another, and in fact, it's worked successfully, if anything. The distraction of his teammate, Navira, already pushing back through. He's going to drop the spike. This will buy them time, but the lockdown could clear them out in just a matter of seconds. Soulcast able to trade, but he has to fade out of there. Into that 1 versus 1, and Les is going to use the time to get a plant.
They have done so well to bring this one back. 1 versus 1 for Solkas. No idea where his opponent has gone, and the angle's being held on the left. Les tagged up and taken down. That's Team Liquid with 5. An impressive comeback into that round. I thought they'd been rolled out of that site. Like, that was going to be Loud's round, hands down. But some big plays at the last moment. I think it especially starts with Link, because he was in this corner. He got hit by the aftershock. He TP'd out. He hit in a corner full blind for like 10 seconds. Probably 4 or 5. But there was a player right in front of him, and it was Aspas running around, trying to take him down. And even full blind, he was able to get the kill. It was kind of unbelievable that he stayed alive as long as he did. And then as they tried to root him out of position, his teammates are kind of trading back and forth a little bit. Very nice.
The problem right now, though, is the hard reset. The fact that they basically had one player alive in the previous and then managed to lose this one basically in a 1 versus 1, it means that the buy that comes through sucks for Loud. Navira, even stunned up, he's going to stick around. This is such a silly position to have an operator, but because he could escape, there's really not that much risk behind it. Spotting the players early. And well, now they're starting to re-aggress onto long as well to try and just reclaim some of that control.
There's the flash from Yumpy. Getting him back out along. At this point, though, if you're Team Liquid, you know, you're seeing little contact. That's what we needed, right? A little bit of information, confirmation players are still outside this position. With the flash actually blinding some of the players, they get that info. Loud are going to be slowly moving their way back into the A site, but Team Liquid are more than ready for it with 3 players in position. And one of them is Nivera, still with his TP online now, holding on the back of the site. He has tanked the stun. He's been flashed. He stays in position. He's stunned up again. Here we go, and he's no-scoped.
Of course he has.
No-scoped.
Of course he has. It seemed like they did everything right, but Navira, it just ruins it for them. His pistol's not been quite as good, but he'll correct it in the end. Navira with another triple. I feel like we've had many of those, and guess what? It's tour de force.
Oh, has he got it online again? What a surprise. It's actually unbelievable, the game that he's having right now.
I just love that he's completely stunned up in a corner, can't do anything. He's like, I think I'll stick around.
He's getting blinded up, stunned up. I swear he got stunned by both breaches as well, or very close to, either way. Unreal. The no-scope, the TP, and then the headhunter to close it out. He's doing it with every weapon at his disposal. Loud, investing their money. No ultimates really online for them here, none that make that much of a difference. It's the operator that they've got to be wary of. Yet again, that cloudburst is going to go down in just a second. Luckily, Navera wasn't holding the right side. He would have had a kill if he was.
Yumpy's still holding in this corner, though. Like, with how they've been playing so far, it might be a surprise, but they're waiting. They've seen Navira there too many times, and even though they've spotted him elsewhere, they're not giving up that position for free.
They didn't turn from the fake flash either, and I think that feeds into the fact that they... Man, he can't keep getting away with this. It's just constant. If he had it, I swear I was going to rush the stage.
Yeah, if he connected that one, I think we would have had to check him PC, but they're going to get the plant down. A 3v3 situation. Ultimates, or at least ones that are going to be useful, are not really there at this sort of position, and Scream's on a long flank. Still trying to come in from behind, but the fact is they're going to know that he's there. They've got an alarm bot available just in that corner. Smoke's going down. Still just up in heaven is Navera now. He's going to go past it using the cloudburst. I don't know if they've actually heard this one. And because it's so late in the day, they might not be expecting him to be this far. Aspaz is going to go down. Still, though, the time is ticking, but they still haven't realized that Scream is just going to get rid of all of them.
What a devastating round for Loud if this defuse comes through, and it will. Oh man, 7 rounds for Team Liquid, and some of them have looked so good for Loud, like they've done a lot of the right things, but whether it's Navera coming up with huge kills or Scream, I mean, the silencer did its job, I guess. They had no idea that he was here. Like, the reaction just wasn't there, and I mean, for less, he's in the middle. He actually killed Link, right? So he was fighting. He did not have a choice to turn around. Omen was reloading. It was so unfortunate for Loud. But that small gap comes back to punish them, and now 7-2 they sit. This is an abysmal attack for them so far. And Tom, it doesn't get any easier. I mean, look at what they're working with.
We need to start counting the rounds to look at winning with 1 player.
Yeah,
because it's getting to, it's getting to the point where there's been so many clutch plays and so many of them have been going in the other direction. I think one of Loud's rounds is also only with 1 player alive as well. So yeah, it was the dancing round where Scream doesn't quite manage to get the kill. So
where Scream doesn't manage to ace.
But the thing is, because of that, they're the ones getting reset every single time. If they were winning a couple of these rounds, they'd have so much in terms of economy. Where are you going? Yumpy just jumped straight into the entirety of the team. Scream, while blind, manages to get one, but they're trading things out relatively well.
Oh my, well, this round is just ludicrous. You can see that Liquid are confident. They're dueling, fighting constantly. Sassy pulls it to the 1v1.
One player!
Trades it out, and yep. That's another one on the tally, isn't it? It's actually unbelievable that they have this much confidence. Let me start with that, because Loud didn't have a lot, right? We said it coming in, they got their Bulldog, and other than that, it was playing around pistols. for Yuppie. It's like, oh, there's like 3, maybe 4 garage. I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna jump in and see. You want to flash? No.
So, Recon going out. It's like, but wait a minute, we're not playing Sova. It's like, I am the Recon.
that was pretty wild out of him, but you know, sometimes you're feeling it, and I guess he wanted some frags. Oh, I've seen this from Scream before. I've seen it many times. Cloudburst gonna block out the turret. He's on his way through the window. Surely they're aware of it, though. Yeah, they're holding it. Les is ready for him to come around the corner. He was. Timing is gonna be key here for Scream. He's been spotted, but it doesn't matter.
He's cursed. Les is the most cursed player in the game. He's getting battled every single round. Nice trade from Pancada, though. They've managed to get themselves into the site. And also, they're going to hold back anybody from rotating in. So an afterplant looking likely, although Solkas actually gets the kill onto Sadak.
Through the smoke, just blind firing, and Sadak goes down. That's a huge kill. And look at Team Liquid's response. They get the frag. They know now they don't need to rush forward. They don't need to panic. Instead, they're going to do what won them the last round, which is send Scream behind. But even worse for Loud is that he has Solkas backing him up with a flash online and ready. And this is perfect because look who's out here, ready for the Hunter's Fury lineup, but not ready for the flank.
It's a little bit shaky, but yeah, they've got rid of that Hunter's Fury. That was the goal from Liquid, killing off the player behind. Now Aspas, he needs to try and get aggressive. He's managed to find one, but the trades are there. It's left all onto Pancada, and there's, again, just nothing he can do. It is going to be that defusal coming through from Liquid. These flanks have just been so hot throughout this game so far. And the main issue is, I think they're just entry fragging less every single time because they're playing these ridiculously aggressive mid-holds. He's like, I'm waiting. I know he's there. I'm dead.
That's a funny thing because this is what you were referring to as an entry frag. The man in attacker spawn gonna kill.
One enemy remaining.
Guys, I can't fall any further back. I literally have to just stand still at the beginning of the round.
Normally, that's where your teammate in ranks going, guys, stop pushing, stop peeking early. Stop peeking. It's like, I'm not peeking, bro. 9-2, and you know, it's so important that it's less going down because that's allowing for these flanks to come through. You don't have the utility to cover your back because your Sentinel's gone. He's going up again. Nefera just does not stop with this aggression. Oh, he's holding the angle, and at this point, look where he's tucked, unless they use some utility, which they do. But he's still here. Of course he is. Doesn't get the shot, though, this time.
They need 2 drones. One that he shoots and the second that tags him to know that he's still there. It's just ridiculous. And now they've got the smokes to try and hold them back a little longer. They've also got Solkas still in an aggressive position. He's been having a pretty decent game so far. Now, this is a spot that they've been in multitude of times, but they're just waiting for the contact. The second Navira takes a shot, there'll be a flash.
This is a disgusting setup. Players are spotted as well. Out towards A long. They know what's going on. Solkas pops the flash just for the information. And this is where Navera should be able to take the opening contact, but he's pushed off the angle now. Has to get out of there with the TP fast. There's the flash from Solkas. Great reaction. And a double kill for him as Aspas clears out the site. That's going to leave Solkas trapped alone in the sewers, but he's not afraid. He's taking every duel. 3 kills under his belt already. The agent that he's shone on many times before. I ducked myself there. Sure, man.
Try and move out of the way. They still haven't cleared him. They need to get rid of this man before they can even attempt to go for a plant. You can see Aspas at this point is almost wondering, is it worth just trying to fight into the spawn? But they're running out of time. And now Link comes in from behind. It's just looking done. He doesn't even have time to do anything at this point, and Navira's going to close it. An incredible defensive half from Liquid. They've been popping off all the way through it. You've got the brothers going ham. You've got Solkas having one of the best performances we've
Now moving into the second, their attack will be challenged. But based on what we've seen so far, I mean, they were attacking for most of their defense.
Yeah, basically. I will say that's one of the more interesting things with Liquid in the past is they normally play quite slow on their attack and almost wait for that entry to come through. Even back in the days where they had like Killjoy up for Yumpy, that was their style. They really relied on those opening kills coming through. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be something that affects them. And on the other side, Loud are not shying away from a little bit of aggression themselves. Still looking to try and control over onto A. Navira is just walking. He's just gone on a little stroll. Now, they've been spotted. Scream was alongside him, but they've almost baited this out so that he can just waltz into the site.
Yeah, it looks like they're ready, though. They've given it up. They're playing the retake, but do they expect him to be this close already? No, they don't. Sadik down. Big kill for Navera with the C-side under their control. Smokes on the cross. They can get a plant down here easily. And there's even been a tag up onto Sassy. Now sitting on 71 health. fire at his utility and see if he can catch a few players out, push Solkas out of position maybe, and they've caught him through the wall.
The thing is, the flank is gone already, and they've got such a deep plant that not being able to clear these players out is going to be so difficult. You've then got these late lurks potentially coming through as well that you have to keep an eye on, and then you're also fighting against the clock. This is not going to be an easy retake. Paranoia even used to try and slow them down, and the peek's just there from Navira. He's just feeling it at the moment, taking aggressive positions when they don't even need it, and then Scream is there to back him up at the end. Another round on the board for Liquid, and, well, we had one caster in the first map, 2 in the second. They might have to bring a third one in, Mitch, because I think we're heading over to Ascent.
It certainly feels like we're going that way, doesn't it? The decider of Ascent certainly on the cards with Liquid picking up that pistol. And I mean, for Navera, you are seeing the value that this agent brings and why so many people have come to fear the Chamber. He can play in a position that, honestly, anyone else stands there, you're throwing. You're throwing that round 10 times out of 10. But for him, he swings wide, hits a shot on a gun that one-shot headshots you, and boop, he's down on long again in the same second. And it's one swift movement. You notice that with him. When he goes for these hyper-aggressive duels, like, for example, the operator on short, right, when he would get tagged by a drone and then he would stay around, it's like the shot lands, and the second that he clicks that button, he's TPing.
That's the thing. He's been sticking around a lot, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's got it wrong once in this entire map, which is nuts.
The only time that it actually punished him was when they Hunter's Furied him when he went back outside of A, because he had to put it down quickly.
That round.
Yeah, and exactly. So there's really not been many problems. Anytime that something breaks down on Liquid, it's like one player having a little bit of a hiccup, and the rest of the team is there to pick up the pieces.
This is a good start, though. The aggression of Aspas has found them on. Of course, this is a force, like Louder not wanting to let it go 12 and 2, and now he's repositioned. Doesn't have his dash. If he gets a kill, he can have it to escape, but doesn't even need it. Another kill for him in the round, and Solkas trying to get a little bit more aggressive, but doesn't really find anything. In fact, gets pinged up, so they know he's hit the pop flash at Nyon perfect. This time is the first time Navira didn't escape.
Finally being punished, and it was on the aggressive front. Shock dart through, that's Link tagged up even more. This is starting to feel like it's already won. Of course, 2 players left alive for Team Liquid here, in the flank of Pancada is about to close the round out. There we go. So 1 HP Link left, and oh, well, they've let him go because Aspas is low as well. He was being a little cautious.
10 seconds left.
Might give him a plant. He's almost there. They're going to spray it, though. Just 1 hit needed.
All right. Well, he's found something at least. They'll hear the reload, but playing within his own smoke. If he can even take another player down, just make it a bit more costly, that would be everything. The turret isn't actually going to give him away, so he's able to just hide, but Sadak is not falling for any trickery this time. A third round, an important one at that for Loud. If they're going to have any chance of bringing this one back, they at least break back early.
Well, yeah, they needed to really win the pistol, so that force by round 2 makes a hell of a lot of sense. Like you said, you don't want to let it go 12-2, 10 consecutive rounds. And when you look at Team Liquid and what they have to work with in terms of ult economy, they would just build it up, play 1 round full ults, build it up again, play a round full ults. Like, you're not winning 10 in a row.
It's like a Rolling Thunder Seekers. It's like, that's going to give you a sight after plant almost guaranteed.
And then Navera comes in to play the long-range post-plant on C with the tour de force. GG.
It looks like they're actually going to go for a hero rifle here. Now, Navira has been in God mode, so I can understand giving him that ability. And if he can farm up a couple of ult orbs, get a little bit closer. The only thing I'd argue is maybe you should give it over to Scream. Yeah. But at the same time, if he gets 1 orb and then dies, that's the ult. If he gets 1 kill and then dies, that's the ult. So I guess they're just gambling on that.
I think the key thing as well here for Navira, he's trying to bait them out. Oh, I just got a classic here, guys.
Yeah, no, Scream, there you go. Scream's got it. Oh,
he swapped it over.
No, I mean, Scream's got the orb.
The orb. Gotcha, gotcha.
So if he dies here, he has Blade Storm, they have enough to buy in the next round.
And that's perfect. And for Navera, it makes sense for him to have it as well, just on how aggressive we've already seen him be capable of playing, pushing up into sides, TPing out. Right now, he's going to be sitting in the cubby, waiting for a push, trying to catch him as they move forward.
Site. Look at this. They've got 3 players in a crossfire with a paranoia set up ready for anybody to run through this. I'd be surprised if you get anything on the Liquid side, but never mind. A good start for Scream. He actually got the Blade Storm then, and then they trade out these kills effectively. The rifle is still standing, and there's some weaponry to be had, and instead, they're actually going to opt to try and fall back in a different direction. They've spotted out Sadak, and he's going to get connected on through the wall. This is falling apart for Loud.
This is starting to get really scary with the seaside down. That plant's going to come through.
Left.
They have a Marshal for post-plant, still the rifle on Navera and pretty much full health. He's going down to long to hold their flank. play that post-plant control. Oh, but there's no plant. They just let them walk right out of garage. A huge mistake. That pulls Nevera to the side. He's got to cover them now on the way through. He catches the first and the second as well.
It looks like he leaves before he's even got the kill. Like, how do you even react to that? 12-3. The worst thing is as well, if you're Loud, you didn't even know he had that rifle yet.
Nope.
You couldn't have known because all the other kills came through with pistols or a Marshall, and he's just been lurking on the other side. It's so beautiful to see Yumpy correct that, just knowing exactly where he would have dropped down to, and wow, they were really just there to close as the end. Look, it's so instant.
Yeah, I think that was, he realized I can fire a couple of bullets and then I just need to get out of there. And, well, it just so happened that he connected on the head with the last one. Just happier to just stay alive. That's 12-3, and that's map point on Loud's map pick. Team Liquid are absolutely rolling. Yumpy's just taken a fight down A-long with a Spectre. Hello. Goodbye. Of course he wins that.
How does he get that kill as well? Scream's still just running onto the side. They are just decimating them. Call this one done. We're moving on to map number 3 because it's down to just one man. Pancada, or Pancada even. I've forgotten his name for a second because that was just such a brutal way to close out this map for Liquid.
Oh, wow.
It's just
Attacker.
Yeah.
Nevera got the kill.
You know what?
Nevera got the kill.
You know what? It's just all at the back. Little rat tails. It's gotta be beautiful. Love it. Love to hear it. Well, we're diving on into Ascent, the final map of this series. We had a great success for Loud to start things out, but now they've got to pick themselves back up after a 13-3 devastating loss on their map pick. Now it's time to step back up.
This is a map they've played an awful lot. It's one that they're dominant on, and for Liquid, it's been incredibly close. Like, both OT wins so far in this tournament, but we've learned that that doesn't mean a lot when you're facing off against this squad. Link is the switch after the bait has already been made. They can expect him to be in this corner. I feel like Loud are the sort of team that would check this, though. I don't think they would leave this without anybody looking in that corner. In fact, Aspas is still a little wary of it. If they leave Link alone, he's going to get so many kills here.
They're checking it. For the simple reason that they think maybe he could have pushed. They're not checking it. Oh no! I thought with the flash where it was, maybe it was a right click. They'd go in.
Bala said that Sassy always wins pistol clutches, so that means there's still hope in this 2 versus 5. The smoke going down doesn't leave them in a great spot. They're going to have to try and fall back from this position. And because the aggression is, well, surprisingly, Link hasn't moved. He didn't really take any damage, so he's just stayed in that position, managing to kill them all out. Yumpy selling the perfect bait as the Jet, and, well, now they have to try and clear everything in 30 seconds.
30 seconds left.
That is just not the way you want to start this out. Outplayed with 4 kills for Link. He's close to the ace and not going to find it this time. You know what, though? I think he's done enough. Because it's, you know, we've already gotten rid of Sassy, the clutch player with pistols. 10 seconds on the clock. Pancada's making a damn good attempt at it, though. Trying to bait out a player on site. Eventually, he'll have to plant. He gets the headshot.
Oh, the shock dart doesn't hit. He's going to have to push him, and he doesn't quite manage to do it. Maybe Bala meant Pancada when he said Sassy, because that was a ridiculously good attempt. I don't think many people would have predicted that both Omens are going to get 4 kills in the pistol round, but
14 seconds left, 1v5, and he walks out like that. That's absolutely, well, he doesn't walk out.
He's almost got
shot
from the shadows.
Oh yeah, huge ult built up. This was just disgusting. I mean, the bait play from the start, you could see that it sold it, but Aspas actually stopped peeking it for, I would say, like 4 seconds. And I thought that they were setting up the flash because they'd given up control, that maybe they thought he'd gone confident and pushed out. But I guess with Yumpy already using up his dash and putting a cloudburst down, he sold it so well.
It was some of the best acting we've seen this year, and it did actually also result in someone getting slapped.
That it did, Tom. That it did. Right, well. It's the second round here. Loud of, got a few pistols. see what they can do. I didn't see that one coming, you know, Tom? Checks left, does he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna check that. Take a little bit of damage through the smoke, but again, they're just locked back. I feel like there's something else that just Link is so irritating with. He just gets these smokes in position. Pancada, though, is still just going strong with the pistols. Kakuka on point with that one. Maybe they don't need to buy up those rifles with how solid they're doing in these sort of rounds. But again, another smoke falls. It's going to buy a fair bit of time for Liquid to just rotate in. They have this crossfire, Link even locking them in on the flank as well. So any escape is futile. There's nowhere they can go at this point.
Time to move on into this site. They're going to be spotted on the way. Rotations from Liquid already here, as we said, and Marshall's going to be picking off a couple as they come on through. Nicely done, Team Liquid, 2-0. Only one player goes down. And I think you can be pretty happy with that result. 2 Marshals coming into this round will be eager to kick things off. As you can see, the timer counting down to 0. Team Liquid will be mounting a pretty tough defense. They've got a lot of weaknesses, namely the Marshals in play. We'll see what they can do on range. They've already been discounted.
That's the thing. Both teams managing to hit the 0 point straight off the bat means that, well, for the defenders, they can basically gamble stack into A, at least in the early stage of the round. That flash has not quite worked out, though. Trying to pop Link out, and instead, he's kind of jiggle peeked it and spotted that there's not really anything there. Tries to fake out the shadow step to almost bait that there's somebody a little bit closer, or at least in towards the cubby. Instead, though, Yumpy now starts to reaggress elsewhere.
Now, holding this kind of control, as I said, the mid plays with the Marshal, always going to be something that you look for. Yumpy spotting one outside of Beacon. They're going to be droning that out too, and that will confirm there's only the one player here. They're not 100% sure on that, but now that they've spotted some players outside A, I'm surprised the rotations aren't coming in that little bit faster. Louder's still going to have an easy enough time in getting in towards the site. You got to look over to Link, though. Sat in the back of Jen. He's going to TP over underneath.
Okay.
Yumpy's being dropped. This is okay, though, for Link's control. He can still take this duel, but they're ready. They're clearing it. Well handled.
Sassy managing to find that tag with the dart was so important. I feel like it could have completely gone wrong otherwise. And Navira desperately trying to get something with the Marshals, but it really isn't looking great. Of course, saving here, not really having any value for Liquid. So they're going to try and maybe relocate, try and drop a couple of players on the way out, fake the steps to almost bait that some of these positions are clear, and just watching to try and make sure that there isn't an easy way out for Loud. But thus far, looking like a very good round for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if they manage to get 2 kills on the fadeaway, it's not going to be the end of the world for Loud. They're in a pretty decent spot. And I like the fact that, for a split second there, we saw one of the players, I think it was Sadek, stare at the door. He thought about shooting it, but decided against it. And Loud are just going to allow them to go down to the spike. There's no point in giving away orbs, I suppose.
Yeah. Good round as well for Loud, especially breaking back. I said it would be important that they win this one, but to win it in a flawless fashion as well, that's about as good as it gets. Not giving anything up to their opposition, not really letting things slip. And well, with such an aggressive take as well. I think the main thing was just that dart coming through from Sassy to make sure that Yumpy wasn't just getting right up in the face of them with the shorty.
Yeah, it's really important. We've seen the impact that that weapon can have, like on those weak buy rounds, and especially if you've got someone like a Jet who can potentially take a shot, close in the distance on you, or use it to get back and reset later on. Loud successfully securing that round. They got their economy bolstered down as well. Yumpy, of course, goes out wide on...
Didn't even have the dash.
No, didn't need it.
That's the thing. You see that player get hit by a 0 point, you're like, well, he's going to stop pushing because it would be ridiculous to just keep going there where he's got no possibility of an escape. Well, welcome to Yumpy's world.
How dare you, Scream? How dare you? He's playing a judge on this round, tucked in this corner the entire time. There's 2 players coming towards him. I'm already angry for Loud on their behalf. That flash is good, but he's spraying away. Damage done, but not enough. Yumpy struggles to even get out of there, hit by the paranoia on the way back. He's resetting. He's going to have to go huge here with Link by his side.
Oh, he doesn't even know that they're close.
Les was really by his side.
Yeah, right next to him. Also has the Nano Swarm to delay any sort of push through, and Navira's going to have to respect that. They will get themselves an afterplant.
Spike planted.
You see the temptation to try and get aggressive through the edge of that smoke, but at least for now, just having to try and sit back, and in a similar situation to the last round. In fact, he's even going to leave it just for a little bit later, try and deny them that extra space for just that bit longer. And they're almost reliant here on Soulcast to try and get that little bit of extra space.
The turret already getting contact. They know that the retake is underway. Shock dart ready for Soulcast. Weapon back out. He lined up, but he wasn't able to get the shots off. Well performed by Sassy. 2-2 we go. And for Loud, that's a pretty strong win for them. They're going to be up against a weak economy here, and that should be the lead in their hands.
Yeah, I don't think you can expect too much. I would assume that there's going to be at least an attempt to try and get an orb for Yumpy in this scenario. Bladestorm could definitely make the difference, but it's the fact that Les managed to get so far without anybody actually spotting him. Like, that was basically the round over at that point, because he managed just to take down both players on the A side.
In the breaks and playing against these anti-ecos when it was on Icebox. But here on Ascent, it's a lot more difficult to close in that space efficiently without giving them opportunities. I mean, we already saw in the pistol round how many different nasty setups you can have with someone like Yumpy trading out, you know, peeking back and forth, and Link hiding in the corner. You imagine when someone's got a shorty, things can get even wilder. And the rest of the team having sheriffs, you know, that's a pretty threatening round even still. It's anything but free against Liquid.
Yeah, they've managed to avoid the dart early. They know that Soulcast is playing from this position because they've seen at least a lot of the utility. Managing to fall back to the side, but with the drone tagging him up as well, it becomes a problem. Scream manages to get him behind, but no shots found. Yumpy trying to hit a touch. What? He gets it from there? That player must have been so desperately low for anything to come through. Navira's found one. Scream picks up a rifle, but gets nothing from it. However, Navira is still here. The jump through will make him miss his shot. But Yumpy's still looking to come in from behind. I don't feel like there's any way he should be able to get a kill from here.
What?
But he's just doing damage to Aspas through the smoke.
Are you all right, Yumpy? Someone check on this guy. Still got his Bladestorm, but he's picked up a rifle now. Link is able to take Pancata. This is winnable. They've dealt with Yumpy at least, and Link left down to 5 HP should be easily dealt with. Still Shock Dart's online as well. And I like that he's just waiting. You know, if you run into that side, you're dead 100%. Containing and taking them down or saving the weapon, probably the two best options. I don't think he noticed the barrel there. If it was sticking out, it was only by a very small amount.
It looks at this point that either it's a rifle save or much more likely he's going to try and lock them in. They've already managed to get themselves 3 kills in this round. Anything more would be a huge amount of cost. Another coming up through, and Sassy now desperately low as well. Link does incredibly well. All players go down, and while he doesn't quite manage to escape with the rifle, but that's not really much of a problem for Liquid, as they're going to have a buy into the next round.
I mean, they knew coming into that it was going to be a round they didn't do a whole bunch in most of the time, so the damage that they got out with, they've got to be over the moon. This was a wallbang. That was a wallbang kill, by the way.
What? That player must have had, like, 0.5 HP. Like, I don't even know how he manages to get that kill, but hey, he'll take it. He's now got a Bladestorm as well to play with and an Operator going into this round, so the game's about to change a little bit as there is no fear. Yumpy trying to get aggressive. Being tagged up, though, can't really take the risk of fighting this, although because he'll have his dash back in a second, he's still playing fairly aggro, and with the one-way, they haven't actually pushed through the space yet.
You've already seen the willingness of Yumpy to push up when that dash is not online. He is not afraid to take some duels without the escape mechanism. But now that he's got it back online, he's right back swinging into that corner. Here comes the drone. He's avoided it to start with and tried to take another peek. You see what I mean? This guy, he just won't stop. Here's the flash through, though. That's big damage now. Yumpy is down, but Link's traded.
Yeah, the thing is, they almost have to try and hold on to this position. A core reloading. Aspas goes through. Another dropped by that Hunter's Fury, and Scream is the defender left on this side. Navira is alongside him. It comes down to just Scream, but Les is there with a quick couple of trades. It will be a 4th onto the board now for Loud, and, well, Liquid are going to have to go back to what will mostly be pistols, although Navira's fought straight in with a rifle. Okay, he sells it. He sells it. It's fine.
Yeah. I look at that last round. So much utility coming out of Loud, connecting. You've got the Hunter's Fury combined with the push on site, but for me, it's less. He comes through the doorway, he gets blinded by the flash that came over from Scream, but I think he turned at just the right time, minimized the duration of the blind, and he was able to then take them down with 2 quick kills, very much saving the round, and I don't think he should have been able to do that. Oh, okay. Bladestorm taken away for a moment.
They'll just wait it out. Yeah. The information has some value to it, but ultimately it's not going to do much else. Still some pretty powerful ults online. Yumpy's the main one I'm looking at, and he's going to go wall. He's been spotted by the turret, though. So they have this information, but he might actually hear some of the footsteps of their rotating around. Look at the instant movement. Straight away, some of the players of Liquid start running back towards that B site. You have Navira already in position. Rotation as well from Soulcast. Scream now making a move. And because they haven't gone back in the other direction, all the information is there for Liquid to just stack up this site.
This is disgusting. The turret was watching it, but it couldn't actually see him from spawn. They knew that he'd ran down mid, but they suspected surely he wouldn't just continue running forward. That's a great nade through. Aspis has no support because of the fragment, and then a nanoswarm goes down, but Scream is taken out. Good kill to start with, left with a frenzy though. And now, oh, they haven't cleared the corner. Solka's only good for one, but tags up a few more. Makes it easier for Navera, who's dodging those darts on the site. The reload in play, and Aspis goes down. They know that Link is here, and he won't be able to find them. But the shot from Yampi equalizes. One to the body, all that's needed. Pancada desperately low, and time! He had to go for the plant, and Yampi, he strikes at just the right time. That's 3 rounds for Team Liquid. A much closer round than they would have liked, but that'll put them right back on the map.
It's one of those infuriating things for Loud where you play as a group because you're up against one of those like anti-eco rounds. Like you're going together, but because of that, you don't have that sort of net that you normally have to catch players getting aggressive. And because of that, Yumpy gives them all the information. They have those bait and switch plays, and then it becomes scrappy. And when it gets scrappy, you kind of expect Team Liquid to come out on top. That's what they're incredibly good at. And obviously, when you have Yumpy on a Blade Storm, it just makes it that bit easier.
I mean, we have to be realistic. You come in with pistols and a Blade Storm, you're expecting a couple of kills, sure, here and there, but for the most part, you never really expect Loud to run into that much of a problem. And I guess, yeah, the slow pace that has very much been what we complimented before, it's just that tiny bit of information they gave away. They see the alarm bot already here. Oh, maybe they don't. They've destroyed it either way. This is I mean, risky enough round. There's a lot of cash on the line. They've got an ultimate to work with as well in the form of the lockdown, but they won't really be able to do much with it when you've got a Hunter's Fury on the other side and Navera's own lockdown.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, the chances are Solkas is just going to hold on to this ult for that exact counter, especially with the way the last couple of rounds have been going. Again, we're going to try and find out information. They actually do go for the lockdown. Maybe just trying to get him to try and bait out that ultimate, but it means that they'll get that space elsewhere because he's no longer watching onto that cross. It leaves Navira completely isolated within the site, and the entry is there.
So they've got that one secure. Solkas clearing out inside the smoke as they look to mount this retake quite quickly by the looks of things. Yumpy's right in, getting all the corners cleared, but is he ready for main? That's ridiculous. Solkas with a quick double. And all of a sudden, Team Liquid are actually in the lead. But they still have to break into this site, get past both of those choke points. There's still utility up for less as well. He's got nanoswarms waiting on the stairs. There's the paranoia. That's going to prompt the nanoswarm pop. And now the players coming out of the catwalk are being stared at. Not being taken down all too easily, though, but the trades are good for Loud for now. Time on their side, and they get all the kills from Boathouse.
Yeah, really solid hold, really solid crossfire, and just having that late couple of pieces of utility was enough to take them through the round. And I actually quite like that. I don't know if that was intentionally just to bait out that ult, but the fact that they use it to then push. Like, okay, we know that that player is busy. He can't really do anything in the moments he's destroying it, so then they use it to pressure Navira. The best thing about that as well is he was the player with the lockdown. So then they don't have that anymore for the retake. So they almost kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get the site for free. Worked out wonderfully. And you have to remember, if Solkas is then on the site, he's in his ult while they're pushing as well. So either way, you're likely to be able to take him down.
So many of these pieces for Team Liquid removed to start things out. And you know, you look at the lockdown for Navera, it's probably not going to be a feature of this round. Not when you've got pistols to play with. They would need something exceptional to prompt that sort of a reaction. Scream going down right away. Well, that's definitely not the start that they wanted. Okay. Solkas and Yumpy on the quick double, and all of a sudden this is again very winnable. And the Liquid just cannot give away a clean round.
Back here and there. It's not quite managing to kill anyone off. At least doing damage. He's going to try and give himself a one-way, and they've only just got the plant down. They know where this other man is. Sassy into that clutch situation, but Yumpy lands the headshot. already. I think he's trying to shout through the walls to the other team. This man is on fire at the moment. And well, they're going to take another round based off of those pistols.
That is absolutely ridiculous. We came in saying a lockdown's unlikely to be used because, why throw it away for a round you're not going to win? And it comes down to Solkus spraying down with the Sheriff from, I think, was it Heaven? Yes, from Heaven. Look at this. Look at that. And it was the reveal that I don't think it even revealed Aspis. I think it was a different player who got revealed and he spammed at them and ended up getting Aspis. Yumpy with just some incredible shots as a support in some elements. Now, the reason I like him on KO is because you have so much individual potential there, like we saw from Shanji playing inside the smokes, entering for yourself. But a lot of the time here, his utility is used around his team, and that's a bit of a problem for me in putting Scream in a spot where he even has to think about that. It's like, you want him to just be able to duel and take fights, but that's where, you know, looking at a roster, it's weird to think that, but then you see Yumpy, you see Nevera, and it's like, okay, well, there is just so much power on this team that it's not Scream, go kill. He's up in their faces. Is he got past the turret. He smoked the turret with a cloudburst, I guess, and then walked past it. He's now sneaking behind them, and they have no idea.
Yeah, so much space. It means that the rest of the players can look to try and rotate and put more support onto A because, well, they know that no one's in the direction of B unless they're going to try and go for a full team mid-take, which they are covering for.
And you know that Killjoy is close because that turret's still online. She's not in main. She's not sitting towards the spawn. So now that it's being taken back, this is where Yumpy's going to start to move forward. He knows that player is in towards middle. He's calmed that over. It's why you see Scream being quite careful about the market play. And eventually he's got to make a move. Now moving up through middle. Does he check his left as he goes? No. So look at Les. Les is just snuck all the way behind them.
They've got problems. They've got big problems. Link is under serious pressure as Aspas manages to take him down, and this flank coming through, it might not even be needed because Aspas has just started killing everyone. Les will come in at the last second, and now Yumpy left in a 1v4 with the operator. Spike will be dropped. He's going to hide within his smoke. He actually gets the headshot onto Sassy, making this one possible once again. Looking for the peak, walks into the nano swarm, caught by the turret, shouldn't stand a chance, and thankfully Les will put him down before anything can get any worse.
That was ridiculous. This guy in a shorty, like he's wall banging people with shorties. He's jumping into 3 guys looking at him, getting a kill, getting out of there. I mean, it's exactly, it was one of the things I said, right? When he's got a shorty, he'll be willing to go at you, take the kill, and dash backwards, Blade Storm out. This time, you know, not the Blade Storm pop, but everything else connecting.
It's a really big round from Aspas, though. Like, the pace of their take into that site was slow, but I think because of what you said about that lurk being there so late, the read was actually a little bit wrong. Like, you could have had the rest of the players sort of stacking things up, but his entries just basically completely cleared out the remainder of A, and they were able to hold in the after block. Now, it's a little bit sketchy again of a vibe, but Yumpy just see you later, Sassy. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's the Blade Storm saved up for this moment, and of course, it finds value right away. You know, the previous round, Les also, when he pulled that turret back, I think that was him telling the other team, you can rotate now, so he could get that timing on the flank. It was really, really smart play from him. See what they can do to get Yumpy out of this position. No, we've already seen him updraft over the wall. Now he's tucked close. He knows there's going to be players around here. And they're going to give up market control, let the wall some through.
The second they break this, he's going to start coming in from behind. The timing's so good, and even more blind. He manages to connect another knife, even having a rifle to try and spray through. He goes down. But Soulcast, in the meantime, has managed to make it through that smoke. The pop flash out from his teammate is almost trying to bait that maybe he isn't here as Les wraps around that corner. It's not pretty, but he'll get the job done. Bringing things back close, but then Scream just straight through it will close out another 30 seconds left for Pancada to make a move. He could teleport, but look at where the remaining Liquid players are. They're waiting in case he tries this.
They know full well that this is a possibility. And there's the teleport coming out of the other Omen. Link, knowing his teammate's actually in position, 10 seconds left. Where does Pancada go? He's going to actually try to plant it, fake it out, pull them into the open. There they are, running in! Ooh. What a good attempt by Pancada. Almost a disaster for Liquid. But they will get their 5th round on the board, now looking to equalize. And Tom, I mean, the people at home are watching a replay, but I'll tell you what I'm looking at. 5 ultimates online for Loud coming into this final round.
Yeah, it's one of those rounds where if you don't win it, you've done something desperately wrong. Like, either that or Liquid will have to do something insane. Now, they do have some counters of their own. Solkas is 1 away from managing to get himself a Hunter's Fury as well, so the only thing really missing is the Blade Storm. I am kind of disgusted by the fact that Yumpy currently has a judge.
Oh my God.
Where is he going?
Deep flash, B cleared. They've got all the control. There's a recon outside B as well. They know that it's clear now. They're stacked up on A. We're like 3 seconds, 4 seconds into the round by the time Liquid are like, yep, it's A 100%. We can rotate over. And now they're stacked in position. Now things have to slow down because Loud have pumped the brakes again. They're not looking to just run in, thankfully. And they seem, well, they have always been cautious of Wine. We've seen every round they've cleared it.
You should run.
They're pinging the spawn. They're so scared of the position that he could be in. Link is in a bit of trouble though, because I feel like they've almost used this just to try and stop him. Luckily, his teammate has managed to garner that orb and can deny it. Still just sat here in this corner. They've also utilized that null command just to try and slow them that little bit more. The only real issue here is if they don't manage to clear Link.
They have always cleared Wine when they've gone towards this position. You have to hope they will again, but Pancata's gone down before. That can happen!
No.
Link is still alive! That is absolutely unreasonable! He'll eventually go down, but Nevera's cleaning up the rest. A clean conclusion to this half. Team Liquid, 6-6.
That was definitely one of the weirdest halves of Valorant I've ever seen. I feel like the team that should have won the round has...
Well, Tomas Bismarck, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good to hear.
Normally it's the other way around, like you put
That's
my
my job.
thing in the middle, because otherwise it doesn't make a lot of sense. But hey, we'll take
It's
it. We'll
fine.
take it. I get my name mentioned
Yeah.
multiple times.
She knows your name now. It's a pretty big.
That's good. Pretty big win. Look at this face. No surprise that Yumpy's trying to get a little bit cheeky. That whole team's gone into the site, but they haven't checked the corner. It just gives a freebie. This man in pistol round is just dominating. 4 kills in the last one. Looking to try and do the same again, but is there going to be any response? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, well, Nevera has 7 health left, so I'm going to go ahead and guess he's not going to clutch this in a 1v5. But then again, you know, I'm happy to be proven wrong. Let's see how this one goes down.
He has more time than Pancata did.
Yeah.
Less health, worse gun.
Spike down.
Yeah. And
There's a turret up. That can kill him in 1.
a good old Timmy. Good old Timmy.
Good old Timmy, yeah.
I know that hurts Pansy every time I say that. Because their one's called Tommy, but we have different turrets for each game, you know? There we go. Les is going to close out the Prime Gaming Flawless. A big round for Loud to start off with. And going onto the defensive side, it can be pretty difficult. Like, a lot of the time, I feel like Liquid are bailed out by the shenanigans of Yumpy on this attacking side. Like, some of the rounds where he's able to just go around on the flank and wrap around it. It's something I don't know if Loud are going to allow him to do. So, and off to such a good start. As said, I was wondering if they could mentally reset going into this one. It definitely looks like they have.
You know, it's almost poetic. They end up going down 3 players falling to an omen hit in a corner. Deja vu.
It's revenge.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing missing was that clutch attempt at the end. Now for Loud, they come into this round stacked up. They've even got a bulldog on Pancata thanks to all those kills. You know, we might not compliment the ultimate from the shadows all that much, but
they showed Nevera because Nevera would be the one on the lurk. Like, Yumpy falls back so that realistically you're like, okay, Nevera's there. That tells us nothing. And then Yumpy goes back for the swing. Just trying to bait out a few little pieces of information that could sell a full setup. And now they're actually looking to try and just double back to a full push in towards A. The problem is a recon has gone out that has told them there's no longer anyone in B main. So instantly Loud start to stack up on this A side.
they've certainly guessed on the right side. And the Bulldogs here too, lots of utility, 40 seconds left on the clock, and at this point, Loud are really starting to suspect that this is the play coming through. You got a Paranoia held and ready to pop out, but look at Team Liquid on the way back over towards the B side, or at least on the way back to middle for a moment. With 30 seconds left, they're gonna have to make a call. And by the looks of it, they're gonna move towards this A site. And again, that Killjoy utility in play on short, gonna be a huge problem for them getting in.
Double turrets going down. Navira does manage one entry, but Pancada is here again. However, the trade is back. There's a possibility for a plant here. Now, there's still the rest of the players rotating in, but this round was looking like a clean one, and now it's dangerous.
It absolutely is. A Marshall on Yumpy set down towards long. Yeah, this is a round that they can win. If it goes awry, he's already picked off one. Out for more, and the tag on the way. Sassy solo. The shot through the wall, more than enough. And a round answered back by Team Liquid. That is ridiculous, the second round victory.
What'd I tell you? Attacker side, Yumpy, Marshall. It's something that shouldn't be allowed, it's something that teams need to prepare for, and it's ultimately something that probably shouldn't work. But it does. And, well, again, they were walking into this site with like 12 seconds left, managed to find both the entries, get an execution, and an afterblock.
Wow.
I can see why people want to Barla to have his hair rather than mine.
Fantastic attempt at the end by Yumpy as well. Yeah, he really really hammered that one home. I don't think they've rehearsed that one all too many times.
They'll get it right for the stage.
Yeah, exactly. That's the prac room debuff.
Wow, this is it's just destroyed any momentum that Loud would have had. Like, you've lost to a minute investment. Weaponry's now booming. There was still the extra finances as well on the other side that they were basically saving to go into this round with. And on the other side, you got basically nothing. They're just trying to make sure they can maybe do a little bit of extra damage, but ultimately, not much to be had. It's funny that he spams mid. Unfortunately, it's the wrong side. Because there is a player just sat there.
Well, now two. They look to take a little bit of control, but Loud couldn't see anything on middle. They'll reset back, and they have to make a gamble. KO Knife goes down towards B, but they only spot one with theirs. No one else stacked up, so they're going to gamble towards this A site yet again. Good call by the Brazilian side. Let's see what Liquid have up their sleeve. They have better weapons to work with, but as we've seen time and time again, that is not a deciding factor in this game. Aspis does damn well to get one.
He's like a magician. Just came out of the smoke. He's already gone before you even realize he's there. Again, this round's all about damage for them. You can see an awfully long rotation coming through the other side. Still an alarm bot there to stop Sadak from finding out anything. Even just a couple of kills here would be a great attempt. Pop flash, also going to throw the 0 point in just to give that extra little bit of information. Maybe even deny any recon that could be coming up on the other side, and Scream just waiting aggressively to try and finish off these remaining players. He might actually get caught here. A little bit aggressive. I thought he got the last one, but it wasn't. It was Soulcast backing him up. And while Sadak needs to basically just wait for the spike and fall.
Yeah, you want to go down to that. I mean, for him right now, the opponents that he's up against, it's just huge value in ultimates on their side. But if he can draw a player, great. Damage done. Weapon retrieved is only a Spectre, so he's right on into that.
Yeah, it's worth it. An extra kill. Don't allow that economy to go wild, because as I said, when you win a round where you've invested nothing, there is still a hell of a lot of credits available at this time for Liquid, so any sort of damage you can do on that side is going to be huge. And the fact is, the purchase coming up for Loud still has holes in it. Like, you've got Aspas having to go for a glass cannon operator. You've also got Sassy dropping down his shields just to make sure he has all his utility, quite an expensive kit, and I believe he still has a shock dart missing, so it's not perfect from Loud, but it's a round that they desperately need to win, because again, Team Liquid's economy could go out of control here.
Aspis managed to avoid that knife, so he can go aggressive. Dash on out, 65 HP, but he'll make it around the corner. It's a good start. The brakes pumped again. Team Liquid slowly moving up through short, and here's the contact about to happen with Sadak.
Oh, they've even got themselves to dash straight through. This is the aggression, but actually, Sadak just about manages to win that duel. Keeping himself on 35 HP, the rest of the team actually start to rotate over to support. There's not a whole lot to play with here at the moment for Liquid. Needing to try and find another kill, and Sadak's position is a bit of a peculiar one. They'll spot the flash, but his flash is slightly better. Kills off Navira for it, and still just surviving in this corner, even knows the Scream is around this spot. And with the crossfire in play, he can just sit pretty in this corner.
Oh, the timing there. The flash comes out, but it turns out Scream gonna survive that. 2v4. Paranoia is perfect, and although Scream's able to see Sassy, the kill goes the other way. That Spike, last man standing. players all around him. I mean, it's hugely stacked up here towards the A site. They know exactly where he is, and they'll drop him right away. Well handled by Loud. That's another round on the board, and they've now equalized up this scoreline. We're going to stay neck and neck.
Yeah, I thought for a second he might have managed to slip the net, but it's not quite to be. And as said, there's still plenty of finances available for Liquid to try and make a play in this sort of round. I feel like, again, this is more evidence of just how solid Sadak is with those flashes. And I think especially on this defensive side, a lot easier for you to be a little bit cheeky with that. Like, if you're going in for setups, a lot of the time you want to try and throw something for someone else. If you have these defensive positions, well, his flashes were perfect to catch players off guard and isolate some individual duels. Back to level pegging though again. This time there's even some shields, Raspas, and lightning fast. Yumpy can't even react to that one.
I mean, the cloud burst was down, right? He just fires on through, takes the kill, and opens it up nicely. At this point, you know, it's going to be hard for Liquid to even entry towards sites. You've got to cancel out the utility or clear it out on your way.
Null command?
Null command is definitely something that could help them out with that, right? There it is. Activated already. It won't cost them that much time as they move towards the site. The one nanoswarm that went down, the nade buys them time to get over towards the alley. They've made it down towards the site. This is going to be difficult for Les to hold on to control. And in fact, he just gives it up. He's going to hold with his team and play the retake.
They managed to lock them into position. Les with the spam. Trying to find something here. Null command now on the other side, and all players locked into the site. Oh, I say that, Scream actually gets a little bit more aggressive. They're opting to try and fight some of these angles, not allow them into position, but Sadak's there, instantly finding a trade. Pancata with another, just going back and forth, and all left on to Soulcast, and he can't quite finish it off. Les will take them another round, and 9th onto the board, and an incredibly costly one. I assume he's going to go back and try and just save that operator after halving the spike, and keep that economy nice and strong.
Really solid round out of Loud. I mean, they dealt with that initial push. They dealt with the initial push really well. You know, allowing them to just take all the control, not overcommitting, and it was Les who was in that danger spot that decided to give up the site, not fight for it, that comes out to save the round as the last man alive. Safe, responsible play, and that is just, it's been so nice to watch this team play because, like we said, their anti-ecos seem to be on point, and I imagine against the majority of teams with tactical pause, they've lost the lead here, giving it over to the defensive side of Loud. And sitting down in the defense, having that little bit of comfort, I suppose, is normally fantastic, but up against a team like Liquid, as we've already seen, things have been on pretty equal footing the entirety of the way.
Look at the pace. Just looking to try and take that control, but the 0-point counter means that Yumpy can't really get away with what he wanted to. We're on a fast-paced take, going to be denied. Or say he's going to be denied. He's actually trying to play through it. An absolute madman. He's just dropped the spike in. Are they going to try and use the ultimate potentially to grab it back and then walk into the site?
Yes, that does very much appear to be the plan. An audacious play. As a TP to the back of B site, they realize that this is a possibility. Even with the spike under their control, Loud know what they're up against. Team Liquid still need to fight for control of the site before they attempt it, and there goes Link. He's down. Spike's on the other side of the map. That's the round over. See what damage they can get done. And it is practically nothing. A very well-handled round again by Loud, and they react perfectly to every step that Liquid are making. I think this is honestly the display on their side of how they adjust to the conditioning of Liquid is just fantastic.
I'd love to know if that was actually a plan, though, for him to run in and die with the spike, because it seems so unbelievably stupid when you watch him do it, but then it's like, oh, okay, well, see, they're now faking to go in the other direction and grab the spike, because it's not the most common thing for people to do.
No, not at all, but the reality is when Yumpy's got his Blade Storm, I'd say 50% of the time he gets that site for himself.
Yeah, probably.
So it's like, yeah, go in, see if you can win the round yourself, and if you lose, we'll still have another option to recover it and probably drag the rotations to A anyways. I like it, and if Loud are a little bit too knee-jerky and they overreact to that, they might have ended up in a much worse position.
Aspas has taken so much control. It just gives them the ability to almost lock down other areas by the fact that he's so deep within B. You then had initial aggression as well over into A, just to try and spot. The only real danger is just that control that's currently being taken by Yumpy, almost on that free roam position just to try and spot anyone out. But the information that's there is so little. Nice shot from Yumpy, and this leaves a real opening in towards that B site. but they're almost trying to pull those rotations away, and Sassy will shut him down before he can be a thorn in their
You
side.
should run.
They're going to pop the smoke over towards middle, trying to fake it out, but here comes the ultimate into play. Lockdown in effect on the A site. Nano Swarm a little early there. Oh, it's because the knife was coming through. Pancata catches Scream and makes it out just about. At this point, 4v3, they can happily play the retake, and if Les can get a kill, they'll even have the lockdown.
It's close, but doesn't look like he's actually going to connect anything. Sassy didn't use it to break that lockdown, wanted to try and deny them the plant altogether, but again, we see these advantageous after plant positions for Loud. Just having an opportunity to try and break back in, both countering each other. It's not pretty from Les. He had an opportunity to kill off Soulcast, who's just completely stuck in this corner. Navira, though, has managed to find two as they try and sneak their way through the door. He's been caught, and now it's left all onto Link. He's being pincered in. Fantastic from Loud in the retake. A couple of players surviving, and them just 2 away from taking this series.
Yeah, they can match these guys in pound-for-pound fights, and that's something that we don't get to see all too often. Sassy especially has been really impressive during this entire series, in fact. 11-8 on the board now. Loud are just a few steps away from securing their spot here, moving forward and avoiding that lower bracket for now.
I think that's one of the things that, especially on this attack side, that was my main worry. The fact that Yumpy can just go walkabouts and win you around. I think Loud have corrected themselves very well that if ever he's spotted, they're very quick to shut him down. They don't let him take that space. They don't allow him for these cheeky little plays that we see all the time. And because of that, it's been a lot tougher for Liquid to really get anything done. Again, we see the early 0 point spotting players outside of this B site. And again, we see a different point in the map pressured by Loud, taking control over towards A.
That TP's being heard, though. They now suspect that Link's over in the corner. Nate clears it out. They double check it as well. Here's the flash over, and a great peek follow-up. Sadik with the early duel. That's the man advantage towards Loud.
Yeah, you're starting to see what I meant by the comparison I made earlier. He gets away with so much with these pop flashes. Timing, though. They don't expect Soulcast to be there so soon. And that's just a free kill onto Pancata, an unforced error from the Brazilians. And actually, they fully rotated in the other direction. As now, we start to see this lurk back. The only thing will be if Les can get there in time. However, he does have himself a lockdown. The problem is that's not really going to deny much.
Of course, you got a Hunter's Fury on the other side as well, so until Solkus goes down, that lockdown can't really be a pivotal part of the strategy. It's just going to be countered immediately. Here's the flash coming out up top. Nano Swarm, and that means only one player can get through. Oh, what a shot! I thought he was locked out completely, but he's got some control. Hunter's Fury can't really be used from the position they're in right now, and the reveal sees all of them scream. Still good to grab the kill, though, and the lockdown will be destroyed. Here's the plan for Liquid. Loud are going to have to retake.
Spike planted.
Don't give this man an angle. Don't give this man a shot. Only 1 bullet left, but he does have his knives available if he wants to try and switch for them. 2 players caught out in the back. He's just holding and waiting, hoping that they can try and force someone into a position that will give away a kill, but Liquid are not giving him anything, just sitting back. Navira will go down, however. They're going to get tagged up, and Soulcast has got 1 more. It's left all onto Aspas to try and clutch this out. He's going to spot Scream up close, and Scream will be there to close it. Another round on the board for Liquid. But still, it was very close.
That was a much-needed round, and considering the impact that Aspas was able to have as they move into the site, things could have gotten extremely scary if Les holds on just a second or 2 longer. The site could have maintained in their control. Look at that. There was 5 seconds left when they destroy that lockdown. You have a Nano Swarm still online, and the game changes completely. You have Aspas through the door or something like that. I mean, there's so many things that could have went badly for them there. Team Liquid have managed to find that. Even still, look at this. They're coming into this round with a Guardian and a Bulldog.
Yeah, the other team have 2 judges. I don't like it.
I think I prefer that.
Yeah, to be honest, I feel like I do as well. Especially some of the positions that they're able to play. Like, look where both of them are. So aggressively positioned. The flash gonna give up some information. That's the thing. After already using the 0 point moments ago, just the pop flash actually tells him that there's players around this spot, not wanting to get caught out. Aspas still having an operator as well, just enables them to lock down so much map control. And, well, with this deep position for Les, you'd expect him to get a kill.
He definitely would, and I think the other aspect is he's got a turret watching. He's got a nano swarm there. He could end up faking out that he's not in this position, but if they drone it out, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Now he can't use any of his utility as they start to push forward, and he's been spotted way too eager on that corner.
Yeah, wanting to catch them as they go through. Again, we've got this fragment just holding off the cross. Aspas trying to find something through, but nothing going forward. And Yumpy just in this corner. It's something they should definitely check, but clearing him might be a little bit difficult. He's not going to budge. He's just going to sit there. Not the best place for a Guardian, but he gets the job done. Looking for a little bit more, just peeking forward. The flash is so good, and the headshot's even better. Leaving just one man standing. Aspas has to try and flee, and Link is watching. Liquid are right back into this one, and now the difference just the one.
This is starting to get a little bit scary for Loud. Wouldn't be surprised to see them take a moment here, sit back and try to reevaluate. They're coming into this round with practically nothing, so the likelihood is Liquid are about to push them over to equalizing. And this late in the game, Tom, you're facing up against not elimination. It is the lower bracket that they'll be going to.
So good. Both players were completely blind.
Gorgeous.
They talk about his pop flash.
Yeah! Gorgeous stuff. Oh, here we go. We're coming into this round. Loud actually putting a couple of credits on the table. Investing as much as they can, but look what it yields. Still with the Blade Storm online, Aspas can potentially be one of the deciding factors in this round.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yumpy's already gone. As they look to try and build in, they've also hit Link with the 0 point. Thank God, this is such a dirty position for them to try and clear. Taking their time to make sure they check for wine. Well, no one there, but getting past this man without him getting anything is going to be so incredibly difficult. In fact, just utilizing his smoke for that little bit further. In fact, going to go within it. Manages to dodge the majority of the utility, and while Loud are looking to try and take a leaf out of their opposition's book.
Comes the drone, that spotted him out. That's a big problem as they push forward, but he's got teammates here to help him out. A Stinger double kill. That's a first for me.
How's that the way they get to map point as well? It seems like both these teams are just excellent at just cheesing through low buy rounds. And while the fact that they managed to just hold that back, get the initial kill of the Blade Storm, and as I said, like just playing through this when you're up against a judge is so difficult to do, even with the tag. And then the support system, the trades are just solid from Loud. 1 round away for putting themselves into that top 6, continuing in that upper bracket and sending Liquid down. Last one.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Tom, the timeouts come to an end. Loud, gotta stop talking, start acting. It looks like it's going to be towards B main with a push up. See an arrow already ready. Okay, it was a Shock Dart Nano Swarm start. That's an interesting take. You know, it's a little bit of utility thrown away, but that could have given them massive value, something Liquid wouldn't necessarily be ready for. The reaction from Liquid, immediate. They are running up through middle into market. In fact, Yumpy is already essentially on the site, but they're ready for it. And with Aspas finding another on the operator, this is starting to get very scary for Team Liquid. They throw out their Hunter's Fury, a desperation play to try to take someone down. And in the end, it has to be put away. Lynx ran up short, got a sight, but the spike has to rotate over, and that's going to take some time, giving an opportunity for Sadik to get back out there and maintain site control.
Yeah, more importantly, he maintains an advantage. He makes sure that if those players are going into the site, sure, you can have that, but they'll be ready for the retake. Has his null command as well to remove any utility that might be there and leave them with that extra piece of information. Fragment over the top, but he doesn't expect the aggression. Yumpy, however, doesn't manage to win that battle. Soulcast sat in the corner and the flash is coming over the top, given the space. They don't know that there's a late lurk yet, but the spacing could actually work out for them. The clear comes through, it's left, all onto one man. Yumpy trying to fight it back, and it's not happening. Loud are going to take...